Hola. Welcome back. You see, Lindsay Smith, I'm going to give you guys like a lesson in gaslighting. And I'm not picking on you, Lindsay, but this is just a particular habit and a particular feature of most women is the gaslight. Lindsay, you're a natural gaslighter, which probably makes you a firecracker in the sack. She said, "Hey Z, hope you feel better today, I'm less crabby." You see the implicit statement there. So you're just applying them crabby, right? So you assumed that you posited that I was crabby yesterday. It's like saying like, "Oh, I hope you don't beat your wife anymore." You see the implicit claim in the question or in the statement. You're implying something which needs to be addressed first. So the first question was I crabby? I don't think I was crabby. I do think I should have never like indulged Mitchell in his ferocious line of questioning where he listens to everything I say for a year, isolates like parts that he wants to use against me, and then takes them out of context. I probably shouldn't do that anymore, but hey, we got it out of the way. She said we were both rude, which is weird, Lindsay, because like, all right, Heidi, I'm going to go to you. I'm going to go to you on this one, Heidi, because you've known me long enough. Angela, you could weigh on this one too, but specifically Heidi. Lindsay imagined like a whole little like interaction between the two of us, like sublingual, so to speak, subliminal, during the whole panel. And Lindsay like was like imagining this little push and pull between us, right? Like, what is that, Heidi? Did I miss something? Or like she's apologizing to me, and in my head I'm like, I don't even know what she's talking about. Heidi, this was always my problem in relationships because you know, like I'd come home from work and I'd be like, "Hi honey, home from work, how was your day?" And it'd be like the same thing that Lindsay's doing, and she's like, I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "I thought everything was like cool." Yeah, Heidi's just laughing, she doesn't even want to weigh in on it. I'm like, "What is this? What do you mean?" Like, I'm just, we both left for work this morning and now I come back and like, you've imagined this like conflict between us. So, Lindsay, see, this isn't how I wanted to start my show. Thus, the definition of gaslighting, because I wasn't crabby, and now I'm like involved in like a little like spat, like a marital spat with you, Lindsay. And we're not even married. Like you said, we're not in a relationship. Well, I know, don't judge me. She admitted she has a crush on me, but she didn't even have to admit that. It's obvious. And here's another one, like Rocky. Heidi, what's with the energies lately? Like, here's Rocky. Z doesn't acknowledge my posts anymore. Oh my God. This isn't how I wanted to start the show. Right, Heidi? But you said, oh, but here we are. She said, okay, I will be on my way. I understand. You see what she's. This is crazy. Hey, ladies, you're all crazy. You're all crazy. Some of you know it. See, that's the thing. Don't judge me and Heidi. Like, Lindsay's still like on the south side of 40. So, like, she hasn't like realized it yet. Like, oh yeah, I am crazy. Maybe I should try to keep that in check. At least don't judge me and Heidi have like, they've reached a point where they're like, yeah, that could be crazy. Maybe I need to like somewhat keep that under wraps, like a little bit. Maybe try a little. But Lindsay, you seem to be struggling with that. I'll let the ladies of Z Show maybe talk to you, because I thought you and I had a great interaction. I mean, I really don't even know what you said. I was like focused on your little halter top with the cleavage and the belly button out. You had the belly button out and you showed everybody in your little short shorts. I don't know where you live with the short shorts, but I think you're in Cali. So, but I was disappointed because I thought it was just for me. And then I saw you were on Jack's show with the same outfit. So that was a bit disappointing to see that. But Lindsay, you have to understand, I have like too many people. I have to, like, Rocky's already in here, Lindsay, and Rocky's like, why doesn't Z pay attention to me anymore? This is Rocky. He's a grown man. He's a Marine. And I'm dealing with this from him. A fucking full-grown urban cowboy, rhinestone cowboy Marine. And he's giving me like sass. I have this guy here, Three Fingers, who apparently had a heart attack the other day. I have that on my plate. Why can't you guys be more like Steph Davis? She comes in. She's just here for Z and Z Show. She enjoys it. She gets her dose of truthiness for the day. Entertainment, laughter, maybe some tears. She doesn't give me problems. Thank you, Steph. You've always been solid. Thank you. That's my problem. I have Lindsay in the mix now. Where's that Christy Lee dolls? She's looking better and better every day. Hey, Christy, are you still listening? That's the cool part about having like a stable. You can rotate. You can rotate through the stable. Like when Lindsay starts getting out of line and sassy, like I can keep her in check. Lindsay, you keep apologizing. She says, well, I'm sorry for my behavior. Heidi, did I miss something? Am I going to have to go back and watch yesterday's show? The Lindsay part? Lindsay, did I miss something? What's going on here? You were fine. I just remembered, like, I cleared the panel and I brought Tarek up. And then Mitchell came up and started, like, Mitchell's like the prosecutor of my life. Are you there, Mitch? You're like the prosecutor. Like when I die and I'm like, have to face my judgment, Mitch is going to walk out with his long flowing Pantene wave hair. All right. The prosecution. And I'm going to be like, oh, it's Mitch. He's prosecuting my life here in front of the creator. It's apparently that's, guess, your job, Mitch. You're gathering all the evidence against me. How I'm a horrible person, apparently. It's pretty good, Mitch. You have a pretty good file on me, I will admit. You should get together with that Rose 777, man. If you guys combined forces, you'd be unstoppable. I'm sure we'll see that happening soon enough. Angela says, "Did you get your drama slut shirt yet?" She might get one. What's that? Like a Lindsay shirt? Does it have Lindsay's face on it? Drama slut. She's gonna get mad. She hates when I call her slut. No, El Pistolero, who's not Wizard, by the way. Everybody thinks you're Wizard. It's not. Now, Lindsay like feels as though we had some kind of like tit for tat yesterday on my show, which I was completely oblivious to. Which again, El Pistolero, that's not the first time in my life. I've been in many relationships where apparently a conflict happened that I was completely unaware of. If you ask like my ex-wife, ex-girlfriends, I've apparently participated in many conflicts where I was like totally oblivious, which is weird. How does that happen? Usually if you're in a conflict with somebody, it's like a two-way street. Usually I'm just like going about my life. Somebody explain this to me. I may check in on Three Fingers since I'm talking about him. How's it going, Three Fingers? Who apparently had a heart attack the other day. No longer on the ball says, you need a stable. That's the number one cause of being single. Yeah, I need a stable. Yeah, that's correct. Tarek says, Lindsay's your best challenge. I don't need a challenge at this point in my life, Tarek. I don't need that. Because by challenge, you mean like it challenges me to stay out of jail on like a DV charge. I've been there and done that, Tariq. Not like I've ever been brought up on a DV charge, but you know, stuff like that. I don't need that. This isn't like the old days. Like Beck said the other day, this isn't like the John Thomas like Mosaic days where the 613 laws of Leviticus and Moses were governing like the people of Israel. No, this isn't that. This is 2024 America. All a chick has to do is pick up the phone, shed a few tears, just say, "Oh, he yelled at me. He's abusing me." I've seen it. I've seen it enough, Tarek. I'm sure you have, but I know you're not going to be in my corner on this one because apparently you let women like threaten you with knives and just kind of think that's okay, which is weird, Tarek, on your part. That bitch could have stabbed you and ended you easy, Tarek. Access Rat Blood wants me to start at OnlyFans. That's not a bad idea, Rat Blood. I'll do it, Rat Blood. If you do it, I'll follow suit. You first. You first, Rat Blood. But I will say something to you, Rat Blood, in a complimentary way and not any way inappropriate. I saw you posted a few things with your daughter, and she seems like a very nice young woman. She had a good aura to her, which makes me think favorable in you, Rat Blood. I'm like, oh, he raised a good daughter. He's a good guy. I saw that. I'm like, oh, she looks like she's like, you know, she looks like she's like with it. And if anybody's ever seen Rat Blood's daughter, I'm like, oh, Rat Blood did a good job. I mean, I don't know her or anything, Rat Blood, but from what you posted, I'm like, oh, that's nice. Which is makes me feel happy for you, Rat Blood, that you have that in your life. That's a blessing for you, good sir. Many blessings. Why is Steve talking about feet? He says, yeah, feet gross me out too. No, man. No. Oh, he wants feet pics. Angela Baby Carson thinks I deserve a harem. Thanks, Angela. I agree with that. You and I are, you know, simpatico on the Z deserves a harem subject. But yeah, there's too many people. I have too many people to worry about now. I'm at a weird stage in my life where like I have to like keep in mind all these feelings of all these different people and their feelers. It's so weird. Like I had a Lumitami on here yesterday, and he peaked out at an 11 again. He peaked out to an 11. And then I went to that Illumitami show after mine, and it was just him talking. He didn't have a link. Like he was on, like he had his background that looked like a, like a talk show stage, but he didn't have any guests up. And then I was like, I gotta go to sleep. This is crazy. You got blocked on Tommy's channel, Angela? Did you ask for a wrench like immediately? Like that's your move. I'm wondering. So weird. But yeah, like the part where I engaged Mitchell in his crazy prosecutorial session against me. I might need to reevaluate that in the future, Mitch. We've already done that a number of times. How's this, Mitch? I'm going to just cut out like me and you doing that. And every time you have the urge to come up and do that to me, I'll just play like, the time that we did that. We'll play it so we can exercise that and we can move on. Yeah, Angela. Somehow I don't see you fitting in on the Illumitami show. Like, No Judge Me, she fits in there. No Judge Me's in this for like the soap opera. She's done with like the, As the World Turns, the General Hospital. She did the whole Desperate Housewives thing, and they tried to bring the soap opera thing to like primetime ABC. Don't Judge Me's done all that. This is her new soap opera. Don't Judge Me doesn't care. Like when Z says, look, oceans lie level and horizontal, and we're under this like world order. It's not a new world order, it's an old world order. And they're basically using their technology to like steal your consciousness and soul. Don't Judge Me doesn't care about that shit. She's here for the roller coaster, the ups and downs. She's sporty. She likes it. She's sporty. She wears yoga pants like as her uniform day to day. I know this because that Shauna Source fills me in on it. That she like sachets around that fucking neighborhood with those yoga pants on, looking sporty. I have you pegged out, don't judge me. You're the type of wife that by the time your husband wakes up, you're clean, you have the makeup on, the house is in order. She's tight. Don't Judge Me is tight. I know it. I've been with women like her. Yeah, she just says, oh my God, LOL. Because she knows I'm right. Yeah, she said I canceled cable several years ago. Exactly. Because she's done with that. Now she's here. She wants the ups and downs. It's too much. Steve says he's lucky like that. Yeah, that's good. That's a good woman. There's plenty of good women out there. Unfortunately for women, they have to get, used, abused. They have to be like, rode hard and put away wet like a couple too many times in their life. Women don't learn easily. They just don't. It's in their nature to rebel. It's part of creation. Did you ever hear the whole Adam and Eve story? Yeah, exactly. And there was that Lilith, apparently. She was even worse. Apparently, like, according to these Hebes, God gave Adam, like, the first chick was Lilith. And she was, like, just a mega bitch. And Adam was like, oh, really? Like this? Even Adam got divorced. Even Adam, the first marriage was a divorce. What hope do we all have? You people want to tell me about relationships, Z. Oh, you're just single and thirsty. No. It's not meant to work. Adam had a first wife, by the way. Yeah, Angela knows. She knows about Lilith. Why did they keep that out of the Bible? Because they were trying to trick you suckers into marriage and monogamy. Let's not tell them about Adam's like first wife. We'll tell them about that second wife, Eve. It was a second marriage. He would have left her too, but he was like too embarrassed to get divorced twice. Yeah, Angela knows. Angela fucking knows about that Lilith. She was too much to handle. You're all under the spirit of Lilith right now. Hey, read the story about Lilith and her her mirror, her black mirror, and how she conjures demons through the black mirror. You're all holding one in your hand right now, or it's in your pocket. Give me a break. Tariq says, Z, I agree with you on Don't Judge Me. She's exactly what you described her. Oh, I know. This is my gift, Tarek, and my curse. It's a double-edged sword, this whole Z thing. One doesn't have this power of insight without consequences. It's too much. It's too much. It's not my fault. I told you I'm Sicilian. It's genetic. Crikey. All right. Let's start to get the show on the road here. And get to some stuff. I have some stuff here. I have a special guest on Friday's show. So any of the flat earthers in the audience, or anybody who's flat earth curious, Friday's show, I'm going to bring on a prominent flat earther. High knowledge, high level guy. His name's Flatzoid. I know it's a weird name. That's why I started listening to him, because his name, Flatzoid. I'm pretty sure he's like South African or something. We'll get confirmation when he comes on, but. So look forward to that on Friday. All right. Let me make sure my voice is in order. It should be. All right, where's my camera? We have to do things. There's a procedure here on Z's show. There's a procedure. Let's get this camera on. Hey, everybody. Greetings. Much love. Let's get the show started. Official opening commencing now. Good evening, everybody. Greetings and salutations. You found your way back to Z Show. That's right, folks. It is the end of the rainbow, the bottom of the rabbit hole. And as always, we are broadcasting live and in living color around the level horizontal realm that we call Earth. Earth, everybody. We love you, Mother Earth. Mother Earth giveth, Father Time taketh away. Remember that. This is the conundrum that we're in this physical reality. That's right. Nothing's permanent here, except maybe gold. Remember what Crow told us the other day? That gold may be like the highest form of matter because it seems to be like indestructible. It doesn't corrode. It doesn't rust. Anyway, we're going to have a great show, everybody. Strap in for the show. Let's go to the chat. Who's here? Dr. Evals in the house. Lex Animata. Much love, much love. Divine Spark 313. Heidi. As always, good to see you. Sovereign Mist. Much love, much love. Lonnie in the house. Good to see you. Dr. Evals. Did I say hi to you already, Dr. Evals? We'll do it twice. Origins of Beingness and Attainment, much love. Tarek T, as always. Jamie C. Level, Angela Baby Carson, Solver Mist, Emilios Man, Mr. 1-1. El Pistolero, Steph Davis, good to see you again, Steph. Much love. Mr. Three Fingers, Kakashi Hataki says, Canaanite wife. Ashira was God's Canaanite wife. Ashira was God's Canaanite wife. Okay, we can get in a little bit more. I like where you're going with that. I like that stuff. Joe Moore, shalom, shalom, shalom. Mr. Steve, the HMFIC, and of course, Don't Judge Me, and so many more. All right. I'll take Lindsay's advice and I'll try not to be so crabby tonight, even though I didn't think I was crabby last night. But I don't know, Tarek. Maybe you could help me interpret whatever Lindsay was like talking about. I'm not going to go back and like review it because it's too much. I'm not going to play into her little fantasies, her little games, because that's what she wants me to do. She's like that. She's a natural manipulator. She just plants little seeds of doubt. Like I said, little gaslighting seeds. You know, get you to question yourself a little bit. And then she just comes in. And when she breaks down all your confidence, your self-worth, then she comes in, does her thing, leaves like a complete fucking path of destruction, and moves on to her next victim. I'll play this for you, Lindsay. I'll play one of Nathan's latest songs that I didn't play on Valentine's Day. I'll play it now. This is to you, Lindsay. Don't go anywhere. More Z Show in a few moments. Nathan, take it away. Please, good sir.
My funny Valentine, sweet cosmic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable.
Yeah. Sing along if you know the words.
Unphotographable. Yet you're my favorite work of art.
Yeah, baby.
Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak? When you open it to speak, are you smart? But don't change a hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine, stay.
Yeah. Come on.
Each day is Valentine's Day.
Yes, it is, Nathan.
Happy Valentine's Day. Love you. Mean it.
The Snuggie. The Snuggie says it all. It's all about the Snuggie. He's bringing it back. He's creating trends, Mr. Nathan, with Snuggies. It is amazing. He's amazing. With the love you mean it. And I believe him. I believe you, Nathan. Like when you say love you mean it, I know you do mean it. You're so lovable. And you have the voice of an angel. An angel, like on earth. Which is amazing. All right, what do I have for you guys? What do I want to start off with here? All right. Yeah, this is a good place to start. Let me get this up. Hey guys, like you know how we all have like electricity in our house. It's used for everything. Like put it this way, if you're like listening to me right now or what? Electric Avenue. Hold on. It kicked in. And they have music on this one. I might have to keep the music down. Let me start over. Everybody, you know how you have like electricity that you're using right now to listen to Z show? And that electricity doesn't come cheap. You have to pay for it. There's a whole process. Like no matter where you are, there's a whole process that goes into it. For most people, it starts at like the electric plant. For most people, not everybody. Some people have like solar panels on the roof or other means. But for most people, there's a power plant, and they generate the electricity there. There's a number of ways to do it, but it usually involves a process of combustion, and then steam, basically pressurized steam, turns turbines, spins them, right? And that generates the electricity. So it's the energy from the work of the turbines that generates the electricity, and then it's transmitted down a bunch of, cables into your house. Thus, hey, we could all communicate with each other with this wonderful technology. Well, that's the way electricity is now. But a lot of people think there was a time in history, not even that long ago, a time that's been hidden from us, occulted for some reason, where there might have been free energy, like everywhere. Some people think the actual architecture and the engineering of civilization and cities was done so in an effort to cultivate this electricity right from the air. And that they're giving us this dirty form of electricity basically to control us. Because how could you charge somebody for, free electricity that's just everywhere? You can't. So let's go into this, because this is an example of how there's electricity everywhere. So I want you to see what they have here. First of all, they're showing you an image in the top of an experiment, or basically a device that this gentleman or lady created. And you notice it's employing a few things here. The first thing is you see two magnets. There's one magnet here in the base where you see my arrow. And then there's a tube with what is very likely copper wiring around it. And then you see another magnet being placed on top. So in between the two, which is basically magnetized metals, you find this copper. And then they're going to show how this is then transmitted via a copper wire to this light bulb. But I also want you to notice on the bottom, what you see here is a depiction, which is very likely Sumerian, possibly Egypt, possibly Egyptian. And you'll see this being holding what appears to be like a giant light bulb. It looks like an incandescent light bulb. Looks like it to me. And you'll also see connected to the light bulb is an image of something that looks very similar to the device that he's making here with the copper wire. Oh, weird. Remember when Illumitami was on yesterday and he was like, "Oh, Z, yeah, like they thought the Earth was flat like back in the day because of course they were like basic. It was like Stone Age, dude." Oh, really? Because why, when you really look into antiquity, does it show advanced technology, highly advanced technology? Let's get into this. I'm gonna kill the music. So it's just bringing you through it, how he made it. This just looks like a PVC. Looks like he just cut a PVC pipe, wrapped it with the copper wire, right? So that's used for the conductivity. Glues it on, just gets a wooden base, and showing he has two magnets, right? Just like I explained. All right, notice how the magnet kind of levitates above the other magnet, and that's what's key, is that you get the magnet to levitate above the other magnet. So what this is doing, he's showing that you can generate an electric charge from the magnetism, because it's called electromagnetism for a reason. And without getting like way into the minutia about electromagnetism, they're basically two sides of the same coin: electricity and magnetism. And you know, when they say electromagnetic wave travels, it's successive pulses of electricity, then magnetism, and then they flip back and forth. And that's the basic way that science explains electromagnetism. But they're really the same thing. Again, they're two sides of the same coin. It's the same force. And he's just showing you now. He's connecting the coil. He's connecting the coil to a wire, which is basically a circuit. All right, just creating a simple circuit, an electronic circuit. That's all. Hooking it up to the bottom of the light bulb receptacle there. See how it's a circuit? It arcs. Light bulb's in, magnets on, and electricity, evidenced by the shining light bulb. Interesting. Simple principle, guys. Now you might say, "Oh, Z, big deal. So what? He used two magnets to light up a very low wattage incandescent light bulb. Big deal." Well, okay. That's just two little magnets. Let me try to think of maybe like a bigger magnet, a bigger, let's say, dipole, because that's what this is actually creating. It's an electrical dipole, positive and negative. Well, let me think. Oh, that's right. The sky. Like right now where I live, there's a big front of thunderstorms coming through. And there's storms going on around me right now as we speak. Lightning, thunder. Right. Lightning. It's electricity. The sky is polarized. Polarization means there is a distribution of positive and negative ions, right? So the concentration of positive ions polarize against a concentration of more negatively charged ions, or negative ions, which is negatively charged atoms, really. They separate, creates a dipole in the sky. When the difference between the poles, or when it becomes sufficiently polarized, there's a depolarization. The depolarization is a neutralization of the charge. That creates the electricity, the electrical charge. It's so simple, but so elegant. The sky's a battery, everybody. And it appears that the ancients knew it. If you ever look at these old cathedrals, or what we call cathedrals, who knows what they were originally? They're cathedrals now, The Masons, run by the Jesuits, which is the Catholic Church, the Vatican, probably inherited this architecture and turned it into, cathedrals. Who knows what it was previously? They have large spires that go up into the air very high. Do you think these were just decorative spires? Why do they have them up there? Why? What is this world really? What is this history really? It's not what you're taught. I'll tell you that much. And we'll just let this play out. It's pretty much done. And again, I want you to focus on the bottom because it was showing a depiction of either this ancient Sumerian or Egyptian, maybe you call it a lithograph, some kind of iconography. I mean, look at it. It looks like a bulb. And it has, you see my cursor here, the arrow? And then it looks like it has a wire running from it under here into this, which just appears to be a conductor of electricity. I mean, what more do you need, everybody? Welcome to the world you live in. Fascinating. And they hid it from you. Now you have a choice to make. You can just continue living your life as if you just didn't get presented with this information, and you can keep going with the pre-indoctrinated story of history. This conditioned idea that you have and belief in what history is, and ignore the evidence right in front of you. I'm not going to do it. You could do it. I'm not. What else do I have? Let me do this one. Another proving rockets don't work in space. This is a quick one. All right, so we've been over this lately. I showed an example last night about rocket propulsion, the physics behind it, and how, if you're to propel an object using rocket propulsion technology, there needs to be something to propel off of to create the equal yet opposite force, because that's what you need. Without a medium, there's no propulsion. There's nothing to push off of. So here's a demonstration of rocket propulsion in a vacuum chamber. Let's get into it. Let me make this bigger. Here we go.
Taught demonstrable reality in space. Well, rockets don't work in a vacuum. Hate to break it to you. And here's a practical reference highlight.
Sometimes I wish I had like a proper British voice like this guy. It makes everything sound so much better. Like that London man. That damn London man. Everything he says. Like he says 3 words and it's got like so much like presence and gravitas. Because he's got that Brixton accent. London man has a better accent than this guy. But still, the British accent's the best. All right, let me get into it. I'm obscuring what he's saying here. It's not nice.
Highlighting that fact. We've got a rocket in a vacuum chamber. We're going to see it expel its gas here in a minute as it attempts to move and prove rockets can fly in a vacuum. The problem is, as we can see from the footage, or we're gonna, this rocket doesn't move whatsoever until the gases being expelled by it start pushing off the walls of the vacuum chamber.
Right, like this is where I wish Illumitami would like actually listen to his pal Z. Hey Tom, little message, SOS to you, buddy. Your buddy Z might be like, one of your few friends around here. I'm not saying your only friend, Tom, but one of your few friends. Maybe you realize that someday. So Tom will say, look, Z, it moved in a vacuum chamber. No. Because apparently somebody tried to present this as like, evidence that rockets can move in a vacuum. But watch very closely.
There's no walls in space, fantasists, which means your fantasy world of rockets flying through a vacuum is just that.
You
A
see how it doesn't
fantasy.
move until it hits
It
the
doesn't
wall?
move until the gases start pushing off the side wall
You can see
of
the
vacuum
gas.
chamber. There's no walls in space. Therefore, rockets have nothing to push off. Nothing. And as a result, rockets don't work in a vacuum. This is a practical reference that can be tested and verified by all, but it's a great representation and visual here for fantasists to look at and see that this doesn't move until the gases start to push off the walls of the vacuum chamber. And of course, as I've already stated, there are no walls in so-called outer space. Oops.
Thank you, sir. Let's watch it one more time. Like he says, there's no walls in outer space. This isn't hard. This is
full reality in space.
This isn't hard, guys. It's simple stuff. The truth is simple. That's probably why I'm like so interested in truth, because I'm a simple guy. There's something about me that I like my life to be simplistic in a lot of ways. I don't like a lot of like fluffy things, a lot of extra things, a lot of accoutrement. I like simple things. I pretty much eat the same thing every single day. I wear the same clothes like over and over and over again. They're clean, but they're the same clothes. I haven't got new clothes in like a decade. That's not even an exaggeration. I'm wearing the same shit from like 7 to 10 years ago. I don't care. I like simplicity. That's probably why I love truth so much, because it's simple. The lies are complex. That's probably why I'm a truther. Because it's too hard to like maintain a lie in my head. Because like when I was like, trying to figure out like the world around me, throughout my life. And I'm like listening to like the whole story of everything, of history, of religion, science. And I'm like, okay, it's kind of complex. Like this whole stuff you're saying is like really complex. It doesn't really make sense to me. It doesn't work with my simplistic mindset. And then I realized, oh, the truth is very simple. Lucky for me. Yay for me. You don't need a bunch of laws, codes, statutes to govern your activity. To basically, to govern how people behave towards each other, how they interact. You don't need like a bunch of rules, legal code. That's crazy. You don't need that. It's very simple. The Christ figure broke it down very simply. They said there's basically 2 rules. Basically said, sorry, Moses, 2 rules. Love your Lord thy God above all others. And the second rule is, love your neighbor as yourself. That's pretty simple. That's like as simple as it gets. He probably didn't even need 2. He probably had to throw 2 in the, okay, we're going to put God, God, and then your brother. So he made a distinction between the Almighty and everybody else, which I kind of like. It's simple stuff. You don't need like a bunch of like, cops and judges and court system and bailiffs and bureaucrats, legislators. You don't need that. Nobody needs that. You don't even need a government. That's crazy. Somebody told you need a government. You don't. It's cuckoo. It's cuckoo. Speaking about the Christ figure and Moses, let's get into that a little bit. Because your buddy Z's been kind of trying to tell everybody that, hey, hold up, let's kind of, I'm like, I'm the kid in the back of the classroom, like waving my hand. I'm like, hey guys, this whole Jesus thing, and you keep telling me that like Jesus and this God of Abraham are like the same person, or like he's the son of this God of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. But I don't know. I kind of see some problems with that. It kind of seemed like this Jesus guy was like totally not about that at all. And this was me just reading the Bible like years ago. I'm like, this doesn't make sense to me. Like this Jesus guy is saying like one thing, and you're saying that his father is this God of the Old Testament, and he's like about a whole different thing. So let me play this for you to kind of maybe try to like straighten that whole thing out. So it's not just me saying it. You hear another voice saying it, and it might help register a bit. Let me pull this up for you. So what's this title? This is entitled Jesus on the Law of Moses and Yahweh of the Old Testament. I'm glad Tommy's here because he likes to argue with me about the globe, but he also likes to argue with me about the nature of Sky Daddy and Jesus. It appears, Tom, we're never going to get over our conflict, which is fine. We don't all have to think the same thing all the time. But maybe we can provide this info and help some other people out. All right, let's get into it. Let me pull it up, make it bigger.
What's up, everybody? I'm aware that what I've talked about in the last couple of videos may be throwing some people into an existential crisis. So I don't want to leave you hanging. I want to explain a little further.
That's right. I don't want to put you guys in an existential crisis either. Especially that Rocky Shepherd. He always gets worked up when I go into the subject. And he was already here at the start of the show, like looking for attention. So let's get into it. I'm going to start it here. So no existential crisis, everybody. It's just info. Here's what I'm going to say about info. If it's good info and you resonate with it, it'll stick. It's not going to like tear your world down. You don't have to feel challenged right now, because many people, they just get, all riled up because their beliefies, their little belief systems are being challenged. It's just information. That's it. If it's meant to stick, it'll stick. If it's meant for you, you'll receive it. If not, you'll still be okay. You'll still be fine. You're a big boy or girl.
That way. In the years after Jesus, there was no Bible. There was just word of mouth, what people said they saw and witnessed. The Universal Church of Rome got together at Nicaea and decided what was and wasn't true. They said that God, the Father of Jesus, was Yahweh from the Old Testament. But not everybody thought that it was. There was Marcion and the Gnostics, and they all got declared heretics. So I just want you guys to understand that not everybody thought that they were one and the same.
Right. So he's trying to tell you right here, like this thing that I'm telling you, and he's trying to tell you, this goes back like a long time ago. And this whole idea that the Christ figure, Jesus, Yahshua, whatever you want to call him, this idea that he stood alone and was not part of this Yahweh, Yahovah of the Old Testament, this idea that they were disconnected was very common around the time of the Christ figure, if he existed. And it was this Council of Nicaea, which was under the Roman Empire and the Emperor Constantine, that codified the 66 books of the Bible that was presented to you and everybody else. They were the ones that decided yes, we're going to connect this Christ figure to the Hebrew and Israelite Mashiach or Messiah. And we're going to say that this figure is indeed the son of this Yahweh God. This was a decision made by the Roman emperor. That's it. And that there were many other groups at the time who had a different belief, the complete opposite belief. When he said the Gnostics and et cetera, et cetera. Later on, you had the Bobomines, the Cathars. Some people call it the snake knowledge that potentially made its way up to the Scottish Highlands and the Druids. This is deep stuff, guys. Try to pay attention if you can. If you don't want to, I'm sure that somebody's going to be up here screaming in about 20 minutes anyway. Y'all seem to love that. We'll get Mitch up here again, and he'll just put me on trial again. How's that? Maybe in the meantime, somebody will appreciate this.
And I just want to present what Jesus said and did and what Yahweh said and did so that you guys can look this up, see if it makes sense or not. Let's start off with a little true or false. So true or false? Jesus commanded that you sacrifice all of your firstborn males unto him for the rest of time so that everybody remembers his awesome power, with a couple of provisions where you can ransom back your son by paying a couple priests. Or how about this one? Jesus put it into the heart of a king to transgress against him so that he could punish a whole nation with his righteous vengeance and unlife 70,000 people. True or false? Jesus said you are to worship him and make the appropriate sacrifices at all times, or he will send curses, confusion, and rebuke in everything you put your hand to. He will plague you with diseases. He will strike you with wasting disease and fever and inflammation, with scorching heat and drought. The sky above will be as bronze and the ground as iron, because you won't let it rain in your country. Jesus will cause you to be defeated before your enemies. Your carcasses will be food for all the birds and the wild animals, and there will be no one to frighten them away. You'll be pledged to marry a woman, but another will take her, and yeah, her. So true or false? Did Jesus say those things?
I mean, I'm going to go with false. I don't know. I mean, I have read the Bible, especially the New Testament, like a bunch of times. And I don't remember any of that stuff in there. Like none of that stuff kind of sounded kind of nasty. Like that stuff didn't sound very nice. So I don't know. I really didn't see like Jesus really saying any of that crazy shit. I don't know. Maybe I missed it.
I'm going to go with no, false. But every Christian preacher out there, and I'm not saying anything bad about anybody, will tell you that that's true. If you believe that Jesus is of the Father, one and the same, and that Yahweh of the Old Testament is the same Father that Jesus talks about, then you're saying that Jesus said all of those things, because that's what Yahweh said in the Old Testament. If Yahweh is the Father and Jesus is the Father, then Jesus is Yahweh. The case that everybody tries to reconcile with is by saying, well, that was the old times and things changed. Well, 1,000 years to God is a blink of an eye, and I don't think he changed that much. Malachi.
Nothing's changed. There truly is nothing under the sun, nothing new under the sun. New boss, same as the old boss. It's like we were saying, this technology, it's not new. This computer that you're using or the smartphone, it's not new. It's not ingenious. It's not technological advancement. This stuff's been around. Human civilization seems to be cyclical. Now, are we progressing towards something? Spiritually, maybe, hopefully. But this idea that we're evolving here, that physical matter is evolving into more complex structure, that goes against everything we know about this physical world. Energy tends to seek an equilibrium. It doesn't become more complex. Things degrade in this world. Things fall apart in this world. Things rust. And again, like Crow said, everything except gold, apparently. Gold may hold a special place. Gold may indeed be some type of physical manifestation of pure consciousness here. I mean, the ancients were enamored with gold. They knew its power, its properties. They knew gold had value. Gold has always had value throughout the course of human history. Why? Just because? No, it's more than that. But everything here degrades, withers, oxidizes, and rusts. To think that we're evolving, to think that our genetics are becoming more complex over time, it's unevidenced, and it's untrue, and it's a lie.
Malachi 3:6, last book of the Old Testament, which, by the way, some people just use the first 5 books of the Old Testament because they are dealing directly with Yahweh. I, Yahweh, do not change, so you, the descendants of Jacob, are not destroyed. Hebrews 13:8, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. I think by any interpretation of the text, you can see that the acts of God in the Old Testament and New are completely different. What are the miracles that Jesus performed? He healed the sick. He cured the blind. He cast out evil spirits. What are the miracles of Yahweh? He turned a staff into a snake. He turned the rivers into blood. He brought insects and frogs and locusts. And instead of just putting it into Pharaoh's heart to let the Hebrews go, he hardened his heart so that he could punish the whole nation. And then he topped it all off by eliminating every firstborn in Egypt. And when he came to do this, he had all of the Hebrews paint the door with lamb's blood, so he knew to spare those households. So the true God that knows the number of hairs on your head needs a sign on the door to know whether you're one of his or not.
You see how none of this matches up? And this goes back to a narrative that I've been portraying here recently, is that at some point there was a strange alliance made between the Roman Catholic Church, the Vatican basically, and the ones who call themselves the Jews, whoever they are. There seems to be an alliance that was made at some point. And it may have been as early as, again, the time of this Emperor Constantine and the Council of Nicaea, but certainly no later than the late medieval period and the beginning of the humanistic Renaissance period, where you see the rise of the our friends the Jesuits and their allegiance with our friends who used to occupy what is now the land of Ukraine, the so-called Khazars. There was an alliance made at some point. Somebody actively, purposely chose to align the Christ figure with the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Moses, and potentially many other gods that they kept from us. We talked about the story of Solomon's temple, the so-called Second Temple, and the strange idols that they seem to be worshiping there. This is a very, very intricate, tangled web to unweave. But we have to try. If you're interested in truth, You need to get beyond your emotions. You need to get beyond your comforts, because this culture and society is rewarding your compliance and rewarding your ignorance through their corporations and their corpus. And if you ask me, it's a stack of cards and it's about to crumble. So what are you holding on to anyway? You don't have to fear. Fear is their biggest weapon. This earth provides everything. Yes, there may be travails, growing pains, but if the lights go off, if the supply lines shut down, and the grocery store shelves go empty, yes, there will be troubles, but this earth provides. You don't need their system. They tricked you. It's an illusion. It's sleight of hand and a shell game. They trapped your mentality into a control matrix where they've infantilized you and everyone you know. This world has everything we need. You don't need them.
So I've used this passage in the last couple videos, but there's a lot more like this that we'll get into. But Jesus is speaking to the children of Abraham. It says that just before this, it says, "Ye are of your father the devil, the lusts of your father you will do." When he speaks a lie, he speaks of his own, because he's the father of lies. So they go back and forth a little bit. It's kind of an insulting thing to say you're of the devil. And Jesus says, "It's my Father that honors me, of whom you say that he is your God, but you have not known him." So Jesus knows exactly what God they worship, and he said this about it. And I know there are prophecies and this and that. For one thing, the people he was talking to said that he wasn't their Messiah. But let's do a couple other verses. So the Pharisees were constantly trying to trick Jesus and get him to break the laws of Moses. So they bring him an adulteress. And they say, "Okay, big son of God, Moses' law commands that this adulteress be stoned. So are you going to uphold the law?" And he's just sitting here drawing in the sand, doesn't even look up. He just says, "All right, whichever one of you are without sin, cast the first stone." So instead of there being some big angry
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from Stream.
That's enough of you, Dana from StreamYard. I'm tired of you. This is how they're going to browbeat me into giving them $12 a month for fucking premium. Because they're just going crazy with the commercials now. All right, you win, YouTube. I'll pay you. You happy?
stones this adulteress, everybody slowly starts walking away. Then Jesus looks up and says, "Oh, has nobody condemned you?" And he says, "Guess what? Neither do I. That's not my law." At another time, he said that their own prophet had prophesied of them, the hypocrites. "In vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men." Everybody's heard the story of him knocking over the money changers' tables. But do you know what they were really doing? They were selling animals for sacrifice. This is the middle of a city, and just like today, metropolitan people don't have a herd of sheep in their backyard. Well, I heard a lot of it was like birds and stuff. But they'd sell people the animals to offer up for their sins. One of the first commandments Yahweh gave Moses before they even crossed over the Red Sea were that all of your firstborn were to be offered up to Yahweh. And should you burn a whole ram on the altar, then it's a pleasing odor to the Lord. Well, Jesus said that sacrifice and offering you did not desire, but a body you prepared for me. So he's obviously talking to the Father. And he did not desire, nor was he pleased with burnt offerings. So when Jesus comes in and sees them using the temple as...
Why would a god want burnt offerings? I don't know. It's weird. Well, which kind of god would be pleased with like copious amounts of like burnt animal flesh on an altar? I don't know. Maybe one who's really large dragon-like, maybe like a dragon god. I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, they worship dragon gods all in the Central Americas. Quetzalcoatl, Kukulkan. There's dragon gods all in the Orient, in the Far Eastern cultures. Weird. The Nordics had stories of great dragons. The Sumerians, interesting. So these gods, plumed winged serpent gods. I mean, they might want like burnt offerings. I'd imagine to be hungry, they'd have pretty big caloric needs, but I don't know. What do I know?
Full as their piggy bank and making sacrifices that nobody good wants. He gets mad and knocks over their table and starts whipping them. And I mean, I'm sure it was a huge scene. This is why I think Jesus was a real person, because he caused such.
Yeah, Tom, I'll let you up. Keep it in your pants. I know you're there. Let me finish my segment, all right? Because I suspect that you're going to come up here and tell me, I don't know about the Bible. And like you said in chat, there's plenty of other great Bible channels. This isn't one of them. Again, Tom, remember the Pharisees, the Sadducees? They're trying to tell people that they cornered the market on truth and they know what truth is. It's kind of like what you're trying to do here to me, Tom, and my listeners. That basically you and all the so-called Christians who are just churchians, you guys have cornered the market on truth. You know what the Bible is really saying. So don't listen to Z here. Right. I'll bring you
such
up.
a scene that
I'll bring you up. Calm down. Oh, look, he ran. Right, Tom. Tom, you have the impulse control of like, I don't know, like a squirrel, maybe? Yeah, false witness. All right, fine, Tom. I'll cut it short. Where's Lindsay? See, now you pissed me off. Come on. I'll play. I'll play, Tom. Because you can't let it go. No, I'll let you up. Go ahead. He hates being backstage. His ego's crazy. I mean, we'll wait. Well, he was up, Provo. He doesn't like when I, do the Bible thing. We'll just keep going.
that they couldn't cover it up.
Maybe Provo Planet's paying attention. Provo always shows up when I'm in with my, Yahweh's a Dragon series. It like blows his mind. That's weird though, Provo, because you're Mormon apparently. Hold on. Here. Maybe Provo will come up. I just want to play his music. You're Mormon, dude. Don't you guys believe that y'all get like your own planet or something when you die? And that God's an alien and stuff. So me kind of like, I don't know, blowing the lid off this Jehovah figure shouldn't be too crazy for you. It kind of goes along with the whole thing, man.
Cover it up and make it just go away. To these temple priests, what good is a God that says, love thy neighbor? They uphold the law. What good is a God that doesn't say, go wipe out the next 5 villages to the east? Yahweh, whatever he may have been, I'm not going to get into that right now, but he had been gone for a long time, yet these priests are claiming to be doing everything in the name of Yahweh. Now, look, I've listened to a lot of sermons, and I still enjoy a good preacher, but a lot of them can read the same book as me and take away 2 totally different meanings. But I think Jesus is perfectly clear about Moses' law. He says, I've not come to abolish it. It just can't work like that. It's going to be around till the end of time, but I've come to fulfill it. What happens when you fulfill a contract? That's it. It's done. So he's saying this law is done. But I tell you that unless your righteousness surpasses that of the Pharisees and the teachers of the law, you certainly will not enter the kingdom of heaven. He's saying, look, your laws are barbaric. I mean, you were going to stone this woman for real? You guys have got to do better than this. And then he goes through the list. You've heard it said that you should not red rum, but I tell you that anybody who's angry with a brother or sister is already on the wrong path. You guys need to stop this stuff before it gets to that stage. You've heard it said, don't commit adultery, but I say that if you're lusting in your heart, then you've already committed it. You got to curb your desires. Nobody's perfect. Oaths. Again, you've heard it said that you can't break your oaths, but you have to fulfill to the Lord the vows that you have made. But I tell you, don't swear an oath at all, either by heaven or the earth. Just a simple yes or no will do. So Yahweh required oaths sealed in blood. And Jesus says, no, you shouldn't even be making oaths. So who did they make this oath with in the Old Testament? So I've heard other people that have figured out that there's a problem here say that it's Satan and say that, he fallen angel, he wanted to be worshipped as God.
Fallen angel wanted to be worshipped as God. Usurper. Look at that. That's the tabernacle there. They're showing the tabernacle of the Israelites. So as they were going through the desert, they had to lug this tabernacle around with them. They needed a place for their God to rest, who presented as a pillar of smoke at night. I'm sorry, a pillar of fire at night and a pillar of smoke in the day. Interesting.
And I don't know. It could be. It could be advanced being from before the flood that took to underground caverns, cruises around in UFOs, and is a couple 100,000 years old. I don't know. But I don't think this was Jesus. Like I said at the beginning, Jesus is the Father, is Yahweh. So just so you know, the ancient Hebrews believed that Yahweh was responsible for whatever good and bad came their way, where Jesus is more the Platonic good, where all good things come from the Father, which makes it a dualist perspective to where all things then come from an evil one. Anyway, there's several things that I think Yahweh could be, including the Egyptian god Set. So the Pharisees trying to trick Jesus again, it's like this evil Wile E. Coyote, asked this stupid question about, okay, what if a woman's husband dies and she marries the brother, which was custom at the time, and then he dies and blah, blah. And he says that you err because you don't understand the scriptures or the power of God. And in the spirit form, nobody's marrying anybody. You guys just don't understand the reality here. And he says, your God said to you, I am the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. He is not the God of the dead, but of the living. So who is the God of this world? Who is it that gives you wealth and power and all of those great things like Solomon got with his demons? But this shocked the crowd.
Wealth, power, like Solomon got with his demons, his magic, his Solomonic sigil magic. Again, the Temple of Solomon. What were they up to? What were these Israelites up to? And why, just because I was born in Western culture, am I supposed to worship their God? Why? You guys are just all going to do it, huh? I'm endlessly fascinated by people. Endlessly. How's this? What do you have to lose? What are you going to lose if you start to think differently? What do you have to lose by challenging your belief system? Is your life so sweet? Are the things of this world so precious to you that you would sacrifice truth for this world?
The crowd once again, hearing that Jesus had silenced the Sadducees and Pharisees, a lawyer decided to question him and said, Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law? And he says, love the Lord God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind. Live in a God consciousness. And then the second is love your neighbor as yourself. all the law and all the prophets hang on these two commandments. He's saying, look, if you guys could just do these two things, you wouldn't even need all your stupid laws. Now, when saying love the Lord your God, the word Lord that he's using here is kurios, which means the supreme authority. Now, he knew who all of these people worshiped. He didn't say love Yahweh your God with all your heart. He said love the supreme authority, the master, with all your heart.
What's this dude's deal, man?
Oh, so again, information that you don't like, so you're
No,
going to dismiss it.
you and he are corroborating on a bunch of mumbo jumbo. If you fear God, if you worship the one true God, the way, the truth, and the light, you are not beholden to this world. You're not attached to this world.
Right, that's the point. But why do you
So
have to stick to this Old Testament, this God of vengeance, of wrath, of jealousy? What's with that,
what are you
Tom?
talking about? The New Testament is the change of the covenant. That's why they're sacrificing animals up until Jesus is sacrificed. Then you stop sacrificing animals after Jesus because he was the final sacrifice.
Let me play this out. There's like 40 seconds left, and then it's done.
If you read the Old Testament and from Exodus on forward, every time it says the Lord, then the actual word there is Yahweh. Replace that with Jesus and see if anything matches the character of Jesus in the Old Testament. And just remember, it's the universal church of Rome allied with the Pharisees that have told you that the God of the Old Testament is who Jesus was talking about. And just like today with them trying to make out these boogeyman countries that we have to go ballistically liberate, well, the same thing was happening thousands of years ago, saying, oh, well, these guys
Right.
worship another God, so they've all got to be taken out. Jesus didn't condemn the adulterous, and I don't think he's going to condemn you or I for looking at the evidence and seeing if somebody's tried to pull a fast one on us. least I
Oh,
hope
but
not.
if it takes
Had
you
it
to
got-
a strong delusion, I wouldn't want to be you.
All right, so here's the thing, Tom. You keep saying that the Christ figure fulfilled the law. This guy's breaking it
No, I
down in a
said
way to saying no,
no, I
he
said
had
they
nothing
changed.
to do
It was
with
the
the
new
law.
covenant. I said it was the new covenant. Don't bring me up here and tell me to say things.
That's what
I
every
don't say what that
churchianity
guy's
person
saying. I
says to
don't say
me.
what Rocky's saying. I don't say what John Thomas is saying. Where's John Thomas at? I heard he's gonna call me out about some gatekeeping or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know what
What
it
kind of
was.
gatekeeping? What kind of
I know.
gatekeeping?
He explained it to me. He explained it to me. Do you want to know? I
I'd
actually know what
rather
you're
hear
talking
it from
about.
him so I could go in on it.
Well, I'll prepare you. You apparently on my show made a comment that chicks should basically live their best life until they're like 25,
No, see, I already know how he got it
and then
twisted.
settle down. And he's
No,
coming at you for that. He took
no.
offense to it.
Yeah, this is why he's lost his. No, I said women have until they're approximately 30-ish, give or take the individual situation. And instead of finding a dude and being ready to settle down, they push that free drinks and meals and the promiscuousness too long. That's why a lot of them are alone and not so happy about it. That's the challenge is men can just be alone their lives and they can accept a wife on and as long as they have money and can procreate, men can go a long time and not choose a wife. But women, once you get past that thing, you don't have that potential anymore with both childbirth and you've probably developed baggage from how long you've been doing whatever without settling down.
Well, it makes me kind of feel bad for ladies, Tom, honestly, because it's kind of a shitty, like, it's a weird double-edged sword for them, right? Because they just are gifted with beauty and fertility, like right out of the gates, and it's kind
Well,
of
that's
front
their
loaded for
test.
these ladies, and they have to, like Venus Cupcake says, 30's too young to settle down, and that's not even
Well,
30's way too old.
she was a punk rocker. She's gonna feel that way about it. But I'm saying I don't feel bad about them. That's their test. Is they get to start out looking hot and everybody wants them and paying attention to them and they're not realizing that clock is ticking. That's why Lindsay's a fucking wreck right now.
Okay, so let's talk about Lindsay.
Let's.
All right. So Lindsay
Oh, London
came
man, you
in.
get kicked off. You get kicked off in Jack Talcott's finally.
Not in a million lifetimes.
Yeah, and I don't know why y'all like. I don't know why everybody takes this stance of like supporting Jack instead of like, dude, he's flipping out because people just come up and talk to him, and he just takes language and says it's whatever he wants. Because he doesn't. He's demands somebody must help him, and you can't ask him questions to break down where the help is needed. Because he feels offended by it because he's keeping legal secrets. Dude, I rock this. I stay in this community because I fucking wreck it left and right with just
You
simple.
love saying that. I
I
just
just
had
keep it
three
basic and
three of my
simple.
listeners just left because I brought you on, and they told
Oh,
me in
you
the
got the
chat.
spirit of your daddy in you. I
No, they
wasn't gonna come.
said it.
Listen, that you just reminded me. I'm up here right now. If I ever see Snafu up here again, I'll never come back up on your panel. That's just
It's such
my
a weird
rule.
thing to say, dude.
No,
It's a
no,
weird
I
thing to
don't
say.
go where Snafu is entertained anymore.
right.
I'm over it. I'm done with it.
You're not the first person to say that to me, but imagine if everybody laid down the
Because I got it
gauntlet on who can
started.
come up. There'd be no
No,
panels
no,
because everybody has
Snafu. No,
enemies.
Snafu is a very toxic poison to this community. It's why no one competent is having him back up. It's why I look at you and go, why are you amazed that Snafu threatened you with your record? It's like that's what he does to everybody. He
I
calls
think.
everybody he doesn't like a PDF or a PDF supporter.
Look, man, I think it's funny to have somebody actively doxing me and then bring them up on my show. It's just funny to me because it's so absurd. It's absurdist. That's why I do
Right,
it.
but I don't know where you've been for like a year and a half. That's why most of us are like over it.
All right, so here's what I'll say, dude. He does have some good points about the pogo because I'm seeing pogo shit everywhere, dude. So I'm gonna give him
Okay,
that.
do you have receipts like he doesn't? Because I still have yet to figure out what somebody could be paid for to disrupt here. Like, I feel like I'm wasting my fucking time on most of these panels. What would a paid agent be doing to stop what?
Okay, so you're saying, okay, if in theory there were a paid agent here, how would they act? And you're saying that's how
No,
they would
no, I'm
act.
saying what would be then the objective that would require putting someone on a pay grade to come
Right.
disrupt something
All
here?
right, so London man, I want to talk to you about this because this is what I keep saying about Tommy. He minimizes and
Just
minimalizes
glossed over the
everybody in this
question.
community. Why do you talk over me on my own show? And I'm trying not to
No,
scream
you're just
tonight.
deflecting, going to London, man. You're not going to
No,
address
I'm
that
not.
question.
I am going to address it, but I'm addressing the point is that you think this is a fucking big LARP, and I think London Man and I think this is something different. I don't want to speak for him. I think this is a conscious community with people with information that are basically holding the torch against tyranny and censorship. There's a bunch of people here
Sure,
sharing
as it happens,
information,
as it
and you
unfolds.
just look down on everybody as if we're just fucking nobodies. And that's what I'm
No,
tired of
that's
about
more
you,
that's more
Tom. And
projection.
that's what,
Like
no,
you
fuck
just
you,
said, I
dude.
think it's a big
Fuck
LARP.
you.
I've stated you
Fuck
think
you.
it's a. You said I think it's a big LARP, and I've looped on every channel. I think this is spiritual fucking warfare. Mic drop.
Right, because you feel like we are all the ones under the delusion, and you're the only one here
No,
to
I'm not the
basically
only one.
shine the light. Right, so you're admitting it. You're fucking
No, I'm not
admitting
the
it,
only
dude.
one.
That's
And
my problem with
anything,
you. You're
whenever you guys
actually
say,
arrogant and egotistical, and you make it hard to fucking like you.
no, you're looping, and you make it hard to
Yeah,
like you.
I'm
But
looping. Right,
anything I say about me, I don't think any of you can't achieve or do. I just think you're not. Like I've
right,
showed you the basics.
exactly.
Like you
Right,
can just
exactly.
know the shape of the planet. You just don't
That's
want to.
fine, Tom. You could just
You
minimize
can you
everybody
can
here over and over again.
understand
It doesn't
rockets.
change
You
it.
could understand rockets. You just don't.
Right. Tom, I have a greater knowledge in all of those things than you, in every
No,
single one
you
of those
don't, because
domains.
I know why
In
rockets are in
science, in
space.
engineering, all of it, dude. All of it.
Right.
All of
That's
it.
why you sit up here and say non-science.
Right, exactly. Because you still prove to me how a rocket can work in a vacuum of space. How's that
It
happen?
takes it. You see the multiple tanks. They take their own oxygen.
How does it have a thrust if there's no particles to thrust off of? It's
What are you
stupid.
talking about? Particles? It's combustion.
London, man. All right, let me ask London. Can I actually talk to my other panelists, dude? Can I just do that?
I answered your thing in your telecast.
Can I do that, please? Would you let me?
How am I stopping you? I answered
London,
your
man,
question.
these people make it so hard to be like,
Hey, man.
cordial, even friendly. I consider Tommy a friend of
Says
mine.
the
which
guy
is
that
weird.
can't bring me up without mess
You don't even know how to maintain relationships in your
Oh,
life.
I do. I just don't
You
like
don't
any
even
of
know.
you.
You don't even know how to maintain with somebody who's actually wants to have a friendly relationship with you. You have to destroy it.
Oh, you
You're
mean
fucking
you mean how
unbelievable.
I've
You're
always
unbelievable.
like given you the benefit of the doubt and you always split back to this shit? Like, did I not show up and get kind of berated by both of you on the last Paul Saturday you guys tried to throw? And it's like, you even cut me off on that when I'm the most valuable weapon against him.
Because
Yeah,
I'm
man,
not here to take Paul down like you are.
No,
I'm
I'm
just here
saying
to be
you're the
Z.
thing. I'm saying you're the thing you're accusing me of right now. You make it very hard to keep allying with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My lord. All right, London man, can you address how Tommy minimizes this community and
Don't
shits
go
all
there.
over it all the
Don't
time?
go there. He's unfinished
Why?
business.
So I'm gonna have to get rid of you just to talk to London man. You're not gonna let him talk?
No, I'm saying don't bring him into talking shit about me. We have unfinished business as it is.
How is that talking shit about you, dude? You're the one talking shit about every single person in this whole sphere.
You'd have to break down each individual situation.
Whoa. Tommy, you talking
Oh.
shit about me?
No, I've still never taken all the people that were in London and nuked it from orbit from that whole racist PDF meth thing. Like, yeah, I see out there, RT. You were there. Fitz McGee. A lot of people surprised me. Truther Cop showing up for the snafu session on.
You got to let some of these things go, Tom. You hold on to every perceived slight against you, man. How could you hold on to that, man?
Slight. It's a panelverse wide thing that it's like very old, even when people are still leaning into it. There's things I don't. There's like the same way London stood on his thing when he was mad. The opposite side of I'm not that thing to children. I'm equally that hard against it.
All right, so here's your thing perpetually, Tom. You're always singing your own praises, your good deeds. You're minimizing everybody else as you do so.
You're just gaslighting. Timestamp it.
Tommy, London Man and I went through your 83-minute spurg. I kept track of every N word you said, every F word you said.
Yeah, London Man's the only person I've ever aimed the N word at. But it's because of the layers of he knows that he's the UK nigga that we had settled on why he isn't affected like US niggas. But my whole, like I had to tell Nancy last night, my whole faggot nigger thing is, don't you think there's a little too much to band together with your fellow man that we need to get over faggot nigger and not just be wrecked over it?
I could agree with you, but there's a lot of words that are offensive. Why are you stuck on those two?
And what are the ones I'm forgetting to say? Kike?
Yeah, there's bad words for every single ethnicity there is. All right, like I'm Italian. Guinea, wop,
Cracker,
dago,
wop,
greaseball, goomba.
Yeah.
So, Tommy, Rocky Shepard wants to be your mentor. How do you feel about that?
I have, just like Dom Bersiglione or whatever his name is, I got nothing to learn from them.
Right. That's your problem.
Well,
all right, here's my theory on you, Tom. Did you hear it last night? Is that
I don't have
you have a whole worldview and a paradigm that you've built up in your mind over the years that you think is functional and that maintains you, and it's precarious, and you have it so precariously balanced that you don't want to tip over because you know that you will fall apart and dissolve without your little beliefs. You won't let anybody challenge your beliefs. You won't do it yourself. That makes you a coward.
Hold up. No, see, you're just off on one of those. You got the spirit of your daddy, just going off on a tangent. It's like, elaborate.
Right, elaborate. Because when you're
like narrow it down. Right, give me an example, because yes, I have my beliefs. They serve me well. I don't know what your point is.
Because
pushing them. I'll offer them.
a
I came up to
courageous man
offer my
tries to
Bible.
falsify their beliefs, because it shouldn't be about your beliefs. It should be about what you accept about this world and what you don't. Not even about your beliefs. You don't challenge your belief set. Are you going to let London
No, I
Man
know
say
what I know. There's knowing versus belief. Are you using the same language that I am?
Tom, am I going to have to dust you because you're just going to come up and hog my panel night after night? That's
You're
not going to work
talcotting,
well
dude.
for me. That's not going to work
See,
well for me.
first you're pawing, acting like I'm here every day. Then you're
Is your
talcotting,
microphone
acting
too
like because
loud?
I'm
Is your
replying to you, you
microphone?
got to dust me off of here.
No, it's that I have. First of all, why did you crank your microphone up to as loud as it goes? That's a faux pas, and you know that. So now I
When?
have to do the
I haven't
automatically
touched
adjust
it.
mic.
I haven't touched it. I
All right,
leaned closer.
it was all the way. No, on the StreamYard side, on the automatically adjust mic was turned off, and your mic volume was all the way up on StreamYard. No
Oh
wonder
yeah,
why I'm
because
still.
I just did a stream last night and everybody kept telling me they couldn't hear me.
Oh, that's why. Okay. Why didn't you have anybody in your panel last night? You were just up there with it, like like chairs, like a interview stage, but you didn't have people up. What was up with that?
Because Benton left over whatever, and Rose was working on the thing for the thing, and the other people that came up were obviously like foreign bombers or trolls. And
Right.
I was fine to lay out the situation on the Talcott panel by myself because I know the Talcott and the Paul better than anyone. I
All right.
already told everyone that was up there. I'm
Fair
disappointed they
enough.
didn't go
Okay, I
harder on
take it.
Paul.
I get it. Can I talk to London Man now, or are you gonna let me? You gonna cut me off?
Do you understand what you're doing?
Oh my God.
Like you asked a question, I
This is
get to
gonna go
count to
nowhere.
3.
This is gonna go nowhere.
Well, you take it nowhere. I asked you to elaborate on your accusations. You don't want to do that. That means you probably were just talking out your ass.
No, Tom. You are
Well,
consistently elevating. Oh
how
my
about
God.
making like
All right,
not being
Tom.
a
Go
flow
ahead.
state and not
Go ahead.
telling me what I am? How about trying to ask a question
I'm
occasionally?
not telling you. I'm telling you what I
You
observe
brought me
about
up. We
you.
can rewind it right now. Ever since you brought me up, you've been telling me I'm a thing and I think things.
Oh my Lord.
Oh my God. Hey, head motherfucker in charge of Steve. Do you remember? Did you see last night when I was laughing about the idea that you are the one calling yourself head motherfucker in charge?
I got to get rid of him. I got to get rid of him. This is it. This is a consistent thing, London Man. It's like, okay, I let Tommy up. He does his thing, and then it's a train wreck. And then it goes nowhere. It's like, all right, so there's certain people where you don't have to agree with each other, but there's usually a progression in the relationship, either towards resolution or towards dissolution. But there are certain people that define the loop. That it's a loop. It's like it's the give take, the push pull. And there's so many people here. And what I'm finding is they're just interested in the chaos and the conflict. And that's like how they connect to people. That's the dysfunctional way through which they try to connect to people. And that's why I don't write Tommy off. That's why I don't even write like Snafu off. But it's difficult, man. And the good part is like, I could just hit the button and get rid of them. It's not like we're all stuck together like in a cell. Like, could you imagine, London Man, if it was like you're on a desert island, like Castaway with like Tommy and Snafu, or Tommy both up? Could you? And then you couldn't escape, and you had to work together for survival. Somebody would die. That's the weird part about you, Tommy. If you and I were on a desert isle, Castaway together, one of us would have to die, and that's a problem. Because you wouldn't be able to cooperate if your life depended on it, literally on a castaway island in the middle of the Pacific. Thanks, Jack. I agree with that. I put it this way. If London Man and I were on a desert island together, the first thing we would do is sit down and be like, okay, what do we need to do for shelter, for food? How are we going to get through this? And then we would use our God-given mindsets of reason, critical thinking, and we would begin to work towards the end of survival. And I know it wouldn't be like that with you, Tom. and I'd have to fucking kill you, or you would have to kill me in the process. One of us would fucking be dead. I know it's true. Oh, help me out, London, man. I'm starting to scream. I said I'm not going to scream. I'm going to present a little bit longer tonight, and I'm not going to introduce so much chaos. London, man, I had Mitch up here last night. He had like 4 things that he's been watching every second of everything I've ever said for a year. And he brought them all up to me last night as if I was on fucking trial, dude. And I'm the idiot who sat up here and let him do it, dude. He brought out Ian, Crunchy B. He brought everybody. He brought them all out, laid it in front of the fucking court, dude.
He vexed you.
Oh man, it's like these dude. They go around and they just take things out of context. All right, here's my theory. Here's my new theory: is that if you want to go after somebody, you just go after them and you just pull at the little threads that you can grab at. And then you just keep going and going and going. You find like the one thing and you just go for it. That's why you can't take anybody seriously. It's crazy. All right, good. So now London Man can. So I noticed she came up when Tommy came up. Was that purposeful or just a coincidence that you hit the link?
No, I just hit the link. You know me, I ain't got a problem. I just hit the link, man. Just come to say, yo, I was over at Talcott's earlier, so I thought I'd come and show some love over here.
Nice. Totally nice. I know this is late night for you, man. So what do you do when it's like me and Talcott on in these late streams? Is it just you chilling? Like you're just in your crib and the fam's kind of settled down or whatever, and you're just just doing your thing.
Exactly. They're tucked sleeping, so I'm just chilling, killing some time.
That's what I figured. That's kind of what I thought was up, which is nice. I tried to do that with Tommy last night. I said, okay, I'll end my show. I drank some water, and I said, all right, let me come back on, and maybe I'll jump on Tommy's to try to keep this whole Jack's in the back. To keep this whole vibe going, right? Like, oh yeah, and then he didn't bring anybody up, and then I brought him up today. And okay, I like the shtick with Tom. I like the bit non-bit shticky thing, but he goes overboard, and then he has to make his exit. I don't know where the bit begins or ends. Let's bring Jack up.
Hey,
Blessings, brothers.
Mr. Talcott, yes, sir.
Hey, yeah, long time no see, London.
Yeah.
Z, I didn't catch it all. Tommy, golly geez, I'm with you sincerely. I love the guy and his heart, but holy cows, I got triggered earlier today on my own stream. What a surprise! But Tommy,
Tommy was alluding to that. Was he the impetus of that or the catalyst? Or just in general?
He actually was well behaved for Tommy, especially for Tommy. He was actually doing exceptionally well, but it was a combination of things between him and Margot. My patience ran out.
Oh God, she still won't let you alone, huh, Jack?
Well, Tommy was talking about having some mediation stream, but it's got to be on Tommy's turf and it's got to be in his ways. And so Margot came for them to discuss availability, and then it turned into a bash Talcott for a while, and I got fed up.
Yeah, don't blame you. His whole thing with me was I was doing a presentation because Jack, one of my narrative on my show is to try to present this idea that the Christ figure isn't necessarily associated with the God of the Israelites. And I'm passionate about it. And I've been passionate for a long time. And I present it here. And there's certain spirits and personalities that get highly triggered by it. And Tommy's one of them. He's not the only one, but he's one of them. And so and I get the same, and Jack, I noticed you get the same refrain from people. They basically discredit any authority on the Bible unless it's from an authority figure. So they say, well, what do you know? What do you know about the Bible? How dare you talk on the Bible? It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't have an opinion on it. What do you want?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but it's a triggering, man. And That's what triggered him. But more and more, it kind of looks like Tommy just looks for reasons to get triggered and then come do his Tommy thing. The Tommy LARP thing. And like you say, Jack, enablers. He's being enabled. Like, see this chick right here, this Don't Judge Me? She's one of the Tommy enablers. Because
really?
Yeah. Oh God. Oh, she loves it. Because like I said about her earlier, she loves the drama. She loves the drama. She loves the roller coasters. A lot of ladies do. So Tommy will hook him with that because he brings him in with that shit. Because Don't Judge Me, no doubt, has a really, like, by all, like, on paper, perfect life. Perfect home, no financial difficulties. She's married, she has family, there's kids, friends, nieces and nephews. Everything in her life glitters. But as we know, all that glitters is not gold. And she will reject her creature comforts. She will reject the stability that her husband gives her for the chaos of an Illumitami. It's fascinating, Jack. It's fascinating.
Yes. People are fascinating. And this group is very, very fascinating.
They are, Jack. Jack, it's almost like I look at this, like I came on today. I was on for 20 seconds and there was already like 3 issues in my chat. All right. First off, I had like a 70-year-old man who's an ex-Marine named Rocky, basically whining that I'm not showing him enough attention, that I don't read his chats. All right. Then, Jack, I had Lindsay come in and pretend like she and I had like a little spat last night on my show, like a tit for tat, which didn't happen. Like, she was on my panel, everything was fine, and then she left. But today it was a fight somehow. So she just made up a conflict as if we're like in a relationship. And then I had this guy like 3 Fingers coming on saying he has a heart attack. So like now I'm like responsible for all this, right? So like I have to be now like in charge of managing all of this. It's just so weird, dude. But I guess it's part of this whole thing that's going on here. And London Man, I'm looking at this whole thing like a long game. I'm like, okay, we come on here, we click the live button, and we're opening up the airwaves for discourse, right? For thoughts. And Tommy, and that's another thing I tried to bring up with Tommy, Jack, before you got here, is Tommy is consistently minimizing this community and the people here, not only the content creators, but the audience. He's very arrogant, egotistical when it comes to his approach to this community. And that's one of my big issues with him, dude, because he's not approaching this endeavor the way many of us are. And frankly, I'm a bit insulted by it often. It doesn't make me like hate Tom, but it's insulting to me in a lot of ways. And I think it's to his detriment. Go ahead. Either of you guys, thoughts?
I agree with much of what you said. Regarding the start of your stream, the thought came to mind, absent the heart attack stuff, it sounds like foreplay. Lindsay and Rocky offering you a little foreplay there, Z, in the beginning of the stream.
I think you're onto something there, Jack. That's the whole story of my life. But that foreplay like turns into me like facing 5 to 7 years in the state pen on the DV charge.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, I don't need that kind of foreplay in my life. Jack, whatever happened to the old timey foreplay that it was, whatever happened to the good old days? I don't need this push pull with these ladies. It's too much. It's too dangerous. It's not worth it. The juice is not worth the squeeze. You get it?
It's
the juice,
though.
that Lindsay juice is not worth the squeeze that's going to get me squeezed into a fucking penitentiary. That's it.
Wow. She's doing her bit. Everyone's doing their bit.
Hey, these women and the men, they make it exciting, that's for sure. some of the power, some of the alleged power, some of the imagined power. Actually, where my mind just went there is how the old adage, you put the pussy on a pedestal.
Well, yeah, that's the worst thing to do ever. But that's what men are taught to do, is that,
Yep.
it's a mind game. The whole thing's a mind game. And my approach here is singular in a lot of ways, because I don't know. Like, I refuse to believe like Tommy's approach, because his approach is a defeatist approach. We're all idiots and we need to catch up. Like, we're all kindergartners and we need to catch up. Tom, it's a satanic inversion, dude. I'm seeing it more and more with him. I'm trying to keep Tommy like on a light, like, like lighthearted and stuff. But how do you treat, like, how can I be so lighthearted when he's like actively trying to destroy like everything around me? It's so weird, Tom. It's so weird. So I don't know, Tom. It's a shame that that's the way you look at this whole endeavor, because to me, it's something completely different. I look at it as we're actually here presenting information and having discussions free of agenda, which is lost in this world, right? Similar to how maybe in olden times, men would get together and they would speak of things and they would try to discuss and try to get past lies and towards some idea of truth. That's a manly, Jack, that's a manly thing. That's a brotherly thing, is for men to come together and discuss their world, to try to figure the world out, because that's actually a paternalistic role, to discover the world around them, to protect the community, to protect the family, to potentially advance, to thwart off the threats of nature, the threats of any other enemies, perceived or real. That's a manly thing to do.
Absolutely.
And Tommy, you just want to destroy it. You just want to fucking see the world
You don't know what
burn.
the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, I do know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, all three of you are three of the weakest men I know on these
Oh,
panels.
really?
Yeah, all three of you have held me and not let me spoke as you've tried to project your thing, and I really don't respect any of you.
Mhm.
Like, do you feel like a big man trying to tell a man what he is whenever you don't ask? What's my agenda, Z?
How do you, I mean, not to pull up that's you thing, but
Yeah, because you're a boomer like that. The actual meme is no, you.
well, um,
You just say things, Jack, and you are not truth, because I watch you agree with people according to who you want to see people go against. Like, when you got a problem with somebody, you'll just let people talk shit and you'll nod with them. You're just like Z, just like London Man. You can't back up what you say.
Right.
I mean, London Man, I went to his house 3 times saying, don't do this, dude. You're messing up. You're misunderstanding a thing. And all 3 times he mod godded me and kept me in the back and let people say I'm a PDF racist, whatever. And then, Jack, it was on your channel that I came and explained exactly what that chat meant, and nobody disagreed. Everybody realized, oh, that's proper grammar. He was saying what he was saying. And this motherfucker, you all 3 still love Snafu. And that's why you hate the truth. If you love Snafu, you hate the truth. If you love Paul, you hate
really. This is the Christian. This is the Christian right here.
I've come with receipts. I am a Christian. I'm not listening to that fucking channel you listen to. I can wreck that guy all day. You guys are under a strong delusion.
So it's really about Snafu. Don't worry, we love you as well.
No, you see, you're missing it like you always do. And that's why you miss when you shoot, you miss when you and you don't need to even be in on it, because I know you're not like a God believer. You're not necessarily a Christian. Z earlier today, Z's trying to tell me that's me and you, we're Christians. I'm like, I don't think you or Jack are as Christian as you think you are.
well, maybe it's you, Tom, that's not quite as clear on.
No, I'm citing the Bible when I'm talking to you, Jack, and I'm saying, Jack, Christians don't send the messages that you send about things.
Okay, well, all right. So maybe there's a distinction between a disciple and what would be a Christian. Can you see
No, you think you're a
there?
thing of God, Jack, and you don't read the Bible.
That's not accurate. I do.
Oh, no, you don't know it at all, or you wouldn't say the things you say.
No, I'm very humble about what I do and don't know.
No, you are not humble at all. You're as pompous as they come. It's just you're not on your channel right now.
Are you sure?
Yeah. We just watched like whenever you talk about what I did today, I just asked questions because I still don't know what you and Margot's beef is. I don't get it. I don't
That's
get what it is you want me to
that's
work out.
There is no beef. It's Margot's problem. It's not even
Then
Jack's
what
problem.
did they want me to mediate, Z?
Because she won't leave him alone. She's obsessive
Well,
and
he
psychotic.
could. Oh,
Yeah.
so it's her that brings herself onto his panel.
Tom. Well, Tom, she has found the disagreements with me. Now
Stop.
you
Stop
sat
your
there.
mumbo jumbo. I disagree with you because you're
I
wrong
know.
a lot.
Well, this is you and Margot are
No,
very
this is your.
you-
Don't me and Margot. Don't me and Snafu. It's just me, and it's just you, Jack, because you're about to think you're going to spend all month trying to improve your show, and then one day you're going to realize, oh, there is no more show, no more roof. I need to do something.
It could happen.
It's counting down,
Right. So
and there's
I'm
either that or
I'm
you've
not
been lying.
stupid, Tom. I'm not stupid. I'm very aware of what is
No, you're
possible.
not.
I'm also very aware on what can be achieved.
Oh, well, then why do you need help?
Tom, the idea of changing this world is bringing
Is a stupid
humanity
idea.
together.
The world is the world, Jack, and you love it. That's why you're not a Christian.
I love the
You're
world.
attached to this world.
Right.
love-
So the guy eats pretty much rice and lentils every day. He
No,
doesn't
no,
appear-
no, no. He burnt through. Like, he lived big this year,
What?
and that was his whole house he spent away.
I lived big.
Yes, Jack,
did.
you've been
I did
telling us
kinda
that you go eat
did.
well. You've been getting
I did.
massages. You've
You're
paid
right.
ladies for their
No.
time. You've got
No,
all these
Not
haircuts
true.
and shirts, and you've never.
I could use a
planned for
massage
what's
or
coming
two.
up.
I haven't had a massage in years.
Irrelevancy.
What's the
You're-
problem?
You're
No, but I'm
dodging the
saying,
point.
what's the problem with him getting a
He's
massage?
about to be homeless is the problem.
Tom. Okay. Yeah,
You sound like Razvan. He told
I
me.
know
Told me.
it's so I don't know how to communicate with you, Tom.
No, you don't know English. You think asking you a straight question is gaslighting. You're losing your shit, Jack.
I'm not losing my shit. I'm
Jack,
here
every
right
day
now.
you start
Yes,
out with your cordial Mr. Rogers type show, and all it takes is a little interaction and you just lose your shit.
Okay, so what, Tom? How can you talk about Jack losing his shit after the Spurg session we saw from you the other night, dude?
Because I'm not the one going, somebody help me get my family back.
I'm not saying it
You're
like
saying something.
That's
Tommy,
what you say all the time, Jack.
all
You
right,
wanted to
he's
pay
going to go to
people to get
11.
you
He's
back
going
in
to Tom,
contact with
keep
your
it
family.
below 11, all right? I don't want you Tom, you've been alluding
Then
to
don't loop this
look,
bullshit with
you've
me.
been alluding. All right, so you want to break the loop? Let's get real. You've been alluding to real life problems now for days, if not weeks. What are you alluding to?
Days, and they're my problems. I'm not like Jack where I come spilling my shit and then wonder why people ask me about it. I handle
All right, so
my
is this
problems.
problem that you're is it a coincidence that your behavior of late online, is it a coincidence that you're having problems in your life and now you're acting like this lately online?
Hey,
Completely
RT,
unhinged.
eat shit
Completely.
and die, you boomer piece of shit. Sick of your fucking bullshit, RT. You ain't shit. You might as well get up here and let Z speak narrative. You guys aren't men because you just sit here. You're like little flow state hoes. You just point and go, he's this. This is what he does. You're Pharisees.
Tom, what's with your icon? This dude with the red glasses, the shooting glasses on that says okay.
Yeah,
Who is
it's a
this guy?
meme. It's a meme. from the
What's
Civil
the
War
meme?
movie. There's this family that kind of like you guys are Jack, that a civil war erupts in the US and they just avoid it and stay oblivious to it until the whole United States is in some kind of civil war purge. And then when they come across these guys that are of questionable morals with their party glasses and guns, and they have them all at gunpoint in the street, and they're like, hey, no, you don't understand, we're Americans. And the guy goes, okay, what kind of Americans are you? Because they don't realize what they're fucking involved in. You should watch the trailer right now. It's cool. It's probably going to be a shit movie, but it'll have cool effects and that part.
Wow,
with that
I've seen it. I saw the trailer like a week ago.
Maybe your audience hasn't.
I
Then if
saw
you've
it.
seen the trailer, why are you asking me?
Well, because I forgot it until you just said it.
Oh, then you'll team up with Jack Well. Every day is the first day.
Oh my!
Oh my God!
What do you see?
Tom.
See, you guys are peas in a pod.
Tom,
Like
you are
that's gaslighting for you. You guys get fed some fucking reality, and all you got is, oh my God. You're like stubborn fucking teenagers. Mic drop.
You want the Civil War?
No, I don't. I know that
You
Civil
want
War.
it.
You would rather have World War III than a Civil War. And once again, look at you pointing at me saying I'm a thing.
But Tommy, you've said before that Christian's role is to lose with honor or lose with grace.
No, show your Sky Daddy you can lose properly.
See, that's deception.
No, it's not. The one true God gave you what the future is. And if you live to see it, you will not change it. You will not see how many beast system agents you can bag with like a kill streak. You just hide, run, or give up and martyr. Like if I realized that I'm in beast system Mark of the Beast, I'd put my guns down. Like it's time for me to lose properly.
See, you're focused on a
Hey,
civil
Tarek, you can fuck off too, because I don't know what this whole fucking 2 weeks is sucking me off verbally, and all of a sudden you're back to say, Paul's brilliant, and coming at me. You're a fucking loser, Tarek. Kick fucking rocks. Go flirt with E.T. some more. She'll give you some Reese's Pieces. Whenever, if Tarek gets hurt, Lindsay will stick her finger out, it'll glow, and she'll be like, ouch. Ouch, Elliot.
That's not nice, Tom.
She's
At
not
all.
nice. She's not nice.
I don't know what her deal is. She's a little quirky.
She cries about people saying things about her when she's not busy saying things about people, and that's half this community.
Which one's this?
Lindsay. Another one that got goaded into almost allying with Paul because he looped her so much yesterday on your panel when neither you nor Flow State had anything to respond to. When I'm sitting there responding to y'all's, I was like restreaming you guys just nailing it. And the viewers I had were loving it, dude.
I bet.
Some of them were like, I didn't know these people. I thought when I saw them around, this was just kind of a thing. I didn't know it went this deep. I was like, oh, we got real ones out here.
Thank goodness Tommy started his channel. Thank goodness Tommy's.
I don't hear authenticity in that statement.
I'm serious because obviously.
Well, why do you say thank goodness when you have yet to respond or even watch Jack Talcott Antichrist panel card?
I keep forgetting. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you forget a lot of things. Like you forget that we were
Tom, what are you doing, Tom?
And that you were getting support for when you're homeless, and then you came into this panel verse, said you couldn't tell me a word, it was all the same, and you just can't talk to me. I'm like, okay, be homeless, be an outdoor Jack. Probably what you need. It's like I said, remember the time I talked about we have to recognize what it's not our place to help with people, and we have.
I just have to, like, it triggers in my mind. It says, okay, hit the button, put him in the back. It just
I understand.
Because he is a fascinating being.
Yes.
Because he's unique.
Yes.
And he's spirited and he's lively.
Yeah.
But his energy is distorted a bit and disharmonious. And I'm kind of like, oh, he's hell bent on destruction, but it's not him. That's just the energy that he's embodying, right? Like, okay, Jack, like we were talking the other day about like embodying certain energies and then using that to approach this world and through which we interact with the world around us. And I see something in Tommy, like something golden and sweet, but I see also this destructive nature that seems to be winning right now. And it makes it very hard to even interact with them in any way. And it's like even having them up here, it's like, yeah, there's the LARP, but then there's the like, oh, this is bad juju. This is bad vibes. And that's fine, Tom. We can come up here and do the bad vibe thing, but I'm not going to do that to my audience because there's an X percentage that is just in it for that. But there's also like 70 to 80% of my audience. They'll sit here and listen to me talk about like Yahweh and Jesus for 40 minutes. And I can't just fuck their whole lives over playing monkey games with you, dude.
It's a good point.
Go ahead, London, please. I know it's very hard to get a word in. And see, London Man is courteous and he doesn't like to bring his energy. London Man doesn't like to get off his square. So he'll just fucking let Tommy talk and then you can't even hear London Man for a half hour. Go ahead, London. Go ahead.
Okay, now. Oh, man. Nah, I mean, I guess Tommy's got a story to tell. Everyone's got a story to tell, it seems. It seems Tommy's story is more important than everybody's. Everywhere he goes, it's, you know, it's you can't get a word in. But, you know, we do love him for that because it's who he is, you know.
Right.
It is who he is. But
he's entertaining and he's funny. And I don't know. It's weird. I don't mind having people up here. That's why I do the open panel portion. Part of me thinks I should do less open panel, like squeeze it more, like do more presentation, squeeze the open panel, and then do my news. But people like the open panel, and I like the open panel. Here's why, Jack and London Man, is because I learn from people. I don't come up here with the preconception and the arrogance that I know everything. So I present my little thing on, you know, Yahweh and how maybe Yahweh is not the Father that the Christ figure was speaking of, and maybe another being. But I do that, one, to educate, two, to stimulate conversation, because then maybe when I open the panel, somebody comes up here and gives me some information or stimulates something in me that generates growth within my own consciousness and my spirituality. That's why I like the open panel portion. But there's the other side of it. There's that, it's like I can't get to that golden nugget that somebody's going to come up here and present without wading through, like, you know, the stream of absolute sewage bullshit to get there. It's almost like those two things go together. Like there's a cost to it. So I guess I have to deal with it. I don't know. Your thoughts, either of you.
Emilio said Tommy eats his potatoes raw.
No, he deep fries them. But we did have RT up here. RT actually gave us, all right, Jack, I'm going to present this to you and London Man, because I know you're both vegan. I got two vegans up here, so I'm sure you eat a lot of potatoes. RT gave what he feels is the perfect recipe for baked potatoes. Let me put him on screen so people remember who RT is. All right, here's what he does. He preheats the oven to 425 degrees, and then he bakes the potato in there for 30 minutes, right? After 30 minutes, he takes that potato out, and then he coats it in olive oil and salt. The whole potato in olive oil and salt. He doesn't poke holes in the potato. He doesn't wrap it in aluminum foil, just that. And then he puts it back in the oven at 375 degrees for 45 more minutes. Pulls it out and eats it, and he claims it's the perfect baked potato. Your thoughts?
I can picture that.
So he just eats the potato just like that by itself, fresh out the oven.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he puts butter on it. He didn't elaborate. Like if it were me, I'd put butter, and if I'm in a certain mood, maybe sour cream. And I'm not going to go to the store to get sour cream. But if I'm somewhere and it happens to be there, I'd probably put the damn sour cream on it.
Yeah, see, the thing is with me, I don't just eat potato by itself like that. I have to have it with things. I can't just say, oh, I fancy potato tonight and going to have potato.
Right. Well, he said he puts butter and salt in it. See, for me, because I eat meat, like to me, meat and potatoes is like the perfect meal for me. Like if I'm going to eat meat, which I do less and less now, but I still do it, even if it's every once in a while. I like the meat and potato. I'm a meat and potatoes guy, and carrots. Like that's my like perfect meal, right? So I'd imagine RT is probably somewhere similar because I don't think he's vegan. He doesn't look vegan.
No.
No. but yeah, I indeed nailed it. Like these are the things I pay attention to. It's the same way I know exactly Tommy's eating habits. I know Tommy's eating habits. I know I watched him. Jack, did you see his cooking stream?
I saw it was on. I didn't see it.
And Mateo says, yeah, that's right. And also you can cook a sweet potato the same way, which I'm going to do now, Mateo. I'm going to cook the sweet potato the same. Mateo, do you like my show better tonight? I did 3 presentations. I did 1 presentation on rocket propulsion. Then I did one on free energy. And then I did 40 minutes on Yahweh and Jesus, which almost nobody watched, by the way, Mateo. Because Mateo doesn't like when I focus on the chatters. So he got in my head last night. So I said, all right, I'm going to do a Jesus thing today. And nobody cares. They'd rather see Lumatami up here screaming at people.
Interesting.
So I hope you're happy, Mateo. Did you like it? But either way, Mateo's right because I want to build my show on solid foundations. Here's a secret, Jack and London Man. I'm building my show because eventually I'm going to take my show live to the public, like on the streets. So I'm going to take Z show, but like live. I'm going to incorporate it with like, you know, people on the streets. Your thoughts?
I love it.
That's an awesome idea. I do remember you mentioning it before. To be honest, I was wondering when you was going to get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
It is a good idea. It's powerful.
Yeah, the weather is something that it needs to contend with. It's the winter. But so what my thought is now, I have a second channel, London Z Network. Oh, I don't have my banner up. Let me put it up. Since I'm talking about it.
Hey, everybody's you know your icon for the thing, is it the like luminous colors? Is that the right one?
What's that?
The logo. It's not like this Z, is it? It's another Z with like luminous colors. Is that the right channel?
It's just a Z. Yeah, I forget. It just has a Z on it. It's just like standard Z that the YouTube gave me. Like I haven't given it a proper icon yet.
I must be.
But it's right there. It's Z Network. It's right on the screen. And like everything YouTube that's hard to find, put it in exactly the way I have it on the bottom of the screen, where it says at Z Network -UL8CB.
Got you.
And so what the plan is I'll do the live stuff on my second network because a lot of it'll be tedious, like me on the street for hours on end talking to people. And then what I'll do is I'll cut and edit those Z on the street videos and present them as elements in Z show. So that's the working plan. Because they're not going to like, you know, promote Z in the algorithm or any of us really. So I figure, okay, I'm going to take it to the people. Like I'm going to bring that aspect of it, but I want to be able to incorporate like a panel. So say somebody comes on, London Man, right? And you're on my panel and I'm like talking to somebody and I mention like, you know, Crater Earth or something, or like the Eye of Odin or the Eye of Ra. And they're interested in that. I could be like, oh, London. And you could like have an in live conversation with them right there and give them some info. And then they can maybe like sub to your channel. You see what I mean? So I want to like I want to have a panel of like flat earthers on. And then when I talk to people about flat earth, if they're interested, then they could then have all this access to a brain trust of people with knowledge and like move it like that. It's a working plan, dude. it's kind of what I wanted to do originally. Like my plan originally was to do that, but I said, okay, I need to kind of build an audience first. So when I'm live streaming, it's not to nobody. Like I want to have people there as I'm live streaming, and I think I'm at a good place. Mateo says I want to see them on the boardwalk. Yeah, I'll probably go on the boardwalk. Mateo knows we live around each other, and in New Jersey we have a lot of boardwalks along the ocean and the beach. It's called the Jersey Shore, and he wants to see me on the boardwalk. Jack, have you ever been to Atlantic City, New Jersey?
I have not. I'd like to, but I've never been.
Yeah. I'm surprised you never had to come for like a convention or something or whatever. There's a lot of conventions here. And for anybody who doesn't know, Atlantic City, New Jersey is like a big casino town.
I was going to say, because that isn't the original Atlantis, is it? Is there another one in United States somewhere?
So there's no Atlantis Casino, if that's what you're saying. But there's an Atlantis resort somewhere. Now this is Atlantic City, and it's got a boardwalk. It's old, like it originated like in the turn of the 19th century, and it's a very gangster and stuff, like anything that involves gambling. And it's got a big boardwalk. Anyway, Mateo wants to see me on the boardwalk. Apparently, Rose remembers the boardwalk. It's fun. You go there. There's rides and candy and stuff. It's nice.
Under the boardwalk,
So
Exactly. That's it right there. Under the boardwalk. That's you're exactly right, London man. I don't think they have any boardwalks in the UK, as far as I know.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
So do you have people around you that you might incorporate to support? Because I can imagine going to the street might be easier if you weren't trying to work camera and mic, camera and sound and everything all yourself.
So I'm prepared to go out by myself, but there's this app that Mr. Dave Weiss has, the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app, where I can go on, like say I'm doing like the Flat Earth thing, right? I can go on and say, I'm going to be on the Atlantic City Boardwalk at this time tomorrow. Anybody want to come out and do some flat earthy stuff? And people will show up. So there's an app for that.
Very cool.
Wow.
So there's that, but it's not just the flat earth thing, but that's what I'm passionate about. Like, I think it's interesting for me to present this information that I have to average normies, right? And then to have that interaction. I just think that's interesting. All right, so I got Sean in the back. All right, Sean. See, Sean wants something. Get up. I'll let him up.
He must be lost.
I'll let him. I told him that the other night. He doesn't want to hear it.
Has he
Sean,
got a collar?
hi, Sean. What are you doing?
How are you, brother?
Right away with the Talcott impression. All right, so are you gonna right away start? Look, he right away starts fucking streaming. He right away starts See, I set it up for Jack the other night and I didn't take it off. So so I ended my stream the other night, London man, and I see this little weird icon in the corner of my StreamYard. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, oh, Pineal Power comes on and he's restreaming my shit as we're going. And he was like interviewing me and stuff.
Yeah. That's one way to get content, eh?
Yo, London, Sean is so weird. Sean, you're so weird, dude. All right, let me ask you some questions. See,
You got me there. You got me there, bro. I'm
right.
not gonna bullshit you.
First of all, is what I say about Don't Judge Me true when I say she's like basically like Desperate Housewives, fit, feminine, walking around the neighborhood in the yoga pants, doing her post, supper power walk as the sun goes down on a hot Florida day. And she's got like the perfect life, the perfect husband, the perfect family, but yet she's fucking hellbent on the drama. Am I nailing it?
I don't know about that one. I'm not sure about that one, but I just went on a walk. Actually, I just got back from the park doing some pull-ups and whatnot. And yeah, it makes me think because you're saying this. I don't think I ever do see Jen walking. Jen, why don't you ever come on a walk sometime? You, Kevin, me, and maybe the boys. Just a thought.
All right, so if people don't know, Sean here and this Don't Judge Me happen to be neighbors, which is very strange, by the way.
It is kind of strange.
Oh,
And the other thing about you, Pineal Power, I see you doing push-ups and pull-ups and stuff. You've been coming up with no shirt on, with tank top on, like sun's out, guns out kind of thing. What's up with that?
I can't hide it. What am I going to try to hide it if I, you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
I can't. I'm not gonna
London man, why is it so difficult to talk to some people? It's like pulling teeth with almost everybody here. Everybody's playing their little LARP game. All right, Sean, let me ask you something. You hit me with a line of questioning the other night, like an interrogation line of questioning. Okay. What are you trying to get at? What are you trying to get at with your pal Z here?
All right, let me turn off the machine lights in the background here. It's distracting. Which part? The legal, like lawful kind of, or wait, which?
Oh, well, you asked me about that, and then you basically got on me about the flat Earth thing. You basically, tell me if I'm wrong, we're insinuating that I'm like shilling the flat Earth thing for disingenuous purposes, with the same thing that Paul does. It's basically hold on, I'll let you speak. It's it's basically like Z's been shilling the flat Earth thing for reasons. And like you're like aware of something, so you're gonna slyly question me, so I spill the beans and give myself up. Go ahead, I know what you're up to.
I do see there's this obvious attempt to latch on. I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying with many people to identify with this, obviously popular, very algorithmically. Favorable if you're trying to
you're going to say that yourself, again, right? This is what pisses me off about you.
I'm not saying that about you. See how you're triggered? You see how
I'm triggered because we've had this conversation 5 times, fuckface.
I literally said not.
Oh my God, don't talk over me off my own show. How could you say that flat Earth is favored by the algorithms? What on God's green earth makes you think that? You're fucking insane.
It's favored for the algorithm for people. Hold on. For people who are looking for it, because they're going to type it in, and they're going to find whoever's, then again, you don't like title your streams, to be fair. You don't title
exactly.
Your streams like
good for you. You just prove yourself wrong. My show says Z Show. That's it. Every time, Z Show.
God, you're such a Jersey fucking Shore motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm a Jersey Shore. No, because Sean, you're deluded. You're a confused young man. You are a confused young man, and that's why I can't really be mad at you. But how dare you come up and say that flat Earth is favored by the algorithms? It's the dumbest fucking thing I ever heard in my life. It's disingenuous, and your lack of logic is astounding.
Let me specify then, to reiterate. It's for people looking for it. They're going to find whoever's at the top. They're going to find well, again, they're probably gonna find fucking Cyman Dan and fucking whatever Professor Dave, But if you know how to search at least, then you're gonna find Dave Weiss and maybe who else? I mean, you're gonna find Mark Sargent.
You're gonna find Jaron,
of course,
and
right? Yeah, and then if you follow that a little further, you'll find you'll find Melodome, you'll find. You get my point. So you might find Sovereign Soul.
Right. So what you're presenting is, when people present information on YouTube and other people want to search for that information, it's possible. All the while admitting they're going to get to the anti-flat earthers first, which is completely obvious. This is my issue with you, Sean. You lack logic. Sean, if you go into my videos, all right, I did a stream on logic and I broke it down and I edited it. Okay. It's in the Z files. Just go to the Z files. Not the Z Flat Earth files, the Z files. And I did a stream on logic. I want you to watch it because you, sir, need a lesson on logic. And everybody who has the same mindset on you as you needs the same lesson on logic. It'll do you a lot of good because you do not know how to think. You've been so mind-fucked by this society and culture that you can't even think. So learn some logic and then come back and talk to me because it's very frustrating. And I don't want to yell. I said I wasn't going to yell tonight, and now I'm screaming at you like a lunatic. And you reminded me of something. London Man, take it away. I'm looking for something in the back I want to play.
I'll tell you, man, the Skull Earth stuff, man, the is really actually more interesting to me these days. It has been the case for months. Skull Earth, Crater Earth. Yeah, and largely thanks to London rehashing some great stuff. I don't know when the last time is you played some of God Give Him Nasty's stuff, but am I wrong? But is he off YouTube now?
Correct. Well, his main channel has been terminated,
Wiped?
but he came back. Yeah, it's been wiped out. All of it's gone. But he came back the other day with another channel. But he's just re-uploading old stuff again. Starting again. But
Well, Emilios is saying I might get Paul mad for what? What do you? I don't know. I'm behind on the chat, so I forgot what we were talking about 6 minutes ago. But
hold on, Sean. You mentioned Jaron, right? What do you think of that, Jaron? He's one of the big flat earthers.
I'll be totally honest. I haven't seen enough of his content to really have a formed opinion, but I do know he does kind of work with Dutch synths, right? Somewhat.
I don't know, but I have a new theme song for Jaron, so I'm going to play it for anybody who missed it. I debuted it the other day. Jaron, this is your theme song. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum.
I know this song.
I woke up this morning with a bad hangover, and my penis was missing again. This happens all the time. It's detachable.
Oh, I know this shit, dude. This is King Missile, bro.
I can leave it home when I think
I knew I knew this
get me
shit,
in
bro.
trouble, or I can rent it out when I don't need it. But now and then I go to a party, get drunk, and the next morning I can't, for the life of me, remember what I did with it. First I looked around my apartment and I couldn't find it.
Anyway, hey, I need a theme song. I need a theme song for everybody, so that's his. I don't have a theme song for you, but I do have a guest in the back. Let me play his theme song before I let him up. I see you back there, guest, smoking that fucking cigar.
Oh shit!
I need a theme. I got London Man's theme song. I haven't played that in a while though, and unfortunately, I don't have one for Jack because it's almost impossible to find a theme song for Jack. I don't know why. Like I sat down one day, I was like, okay, time to find a theme song for Jack. Nothing came to mind. Like I was completely blank with it. It was so weird. I don't know why. You're difficult, Jack.
Maybe some wind chimes or something to Jack.
Wind chimes.
Nice.
God.
It was inspired. It was inspired.
Shit.
On the moon.
Shit.
So I want to give credit where credit is due.
That's my shit.
It's
Detachable beam.
There you go.
Oh shit!
A rat done bit my sister Nell with Whitey on the moon. Her face and arms began to swell, and Whitey's on the moon. I can't pay no doctor bills, but Whitey's on the moon. 10 years from now, I'll be paying still while Whitey's on the moon. You know, the man just upped my rent last night because Whitey's on the moon. No hot water, no toilets, no lights, but Whitey's on the moon. I wonder why he's upping me. Because Whitey's on the moon.
Very good.
Well, I was already giving him 50 a week, and now Whitey's on the moon. Taxes taking my whole damn check. The junkies make me a nervous wreck. The price of food is going up. And as if all that crap wasn't enough, a rat done bit my sister Nell with Whitey on the moon. Her face and arms began to swell, and Whitey's on the moon. Was all that money I made last year for Whitey on the moon? How come I ain't got no money here? Whitey's on the moon. You know, I just about had my fill of Whitey on the moon. I think I'll send these doctor bills. Air mail special.
That's dope. That's dope. Very good. Very good.
to Whitey on the Moon.
Much love, Joe Cool. That is in honor of you, good sir.
Ah, shit. Yeah, I dig it. And speaking of on the moon,
Totally not
I need to get
racist.
my man's back. Let's have it out. See, we ain't never had the flat earth.
Go
not me and
ahead,
you.
Joe. I'd let you up even. Hold on, Joe. I got to get to the news, but I let you up anyway because you
Take your
seem
time.
like you're fired. You seem like you're fired up about something. What's
Yeah.
the issue?
I just heard flat earth. I like to argue flat earth shits. Me and you never had a
Yeah,
chance to
I
do
know.
it.
I've already done this with you. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going to loop about flat Earth anymore. I'll do that elsewhere. I just present it. I'll let you guys come up and do your thing. It's not my fault. I didn't lie about the Earth. I don't care. And look who else is here. What the fuck, man? I'm supposed to deal with this fucking guy too.
Oh my gosh, he's got 6 fingers. He's got 6 fingers. Did anybody just see that?
Are you
What's up,
serious?
you bunch of vegan bitches?
I saw 6 fingers.
What are you doing? Is that sausage in the
sausage hanging in a fucking?
Is that sausage?
Oh, look at that,
bro.
baby!
That's a bunch of sausage, too.
Is that possum or skunk?
Go ahead.
No, there's a raccoon right here, but I'm not making him into sausage.
Oh my
I'll see you guys.
I hit a fucking raccoon on the road the other day. Blew my fucking front bumper right off my car.
Wow.
Are you drinking the raccoon's blood right now?
Sorry?
Yeah, it probably
Yeah,
is.
I mixed it in with my coffee. It makes
No.
it sweet. Because I don't
I'm
use
going to the news. Bye, everybody. I'm doing the news. Bye, Joe. Thanks for
Peace,
coming
peace.
up. Pinion
All right,
Power, you're a strange, weird fucking young man, but much
I won't
love.
hate you if you want to leave me since I am streaming you. But hey, either way, all good. Detachable penis, incredible addition to this broadcast. So kudos.
What did you say about restreaming you? What did you
I
say?
said
about
I won't be mad if you leave me up for the news since I am restreaming. Sorry, simulcasting if you want me to be politically correct.
London, do you hear this fucking guy?
I hear it. I hear it.
But yo,
Peniel,
King Missile,
alright,
bro, I
I
forgot
have to
about
be
that
nice.
song, man.
Well, I mean,
Right.
look, Z, to be fair, you did give Paul and Bex a seat at the news broadcast, so it's only right, you know.
That is true.
Did I leave Peniel up?
Yeah, so I think I better leave you two up here, you know. So it's fair, isn't it? Fair is fair.
Are you going to leave me with this fucking guy for? All right, London man, much love,
Why
dude.
you gotta leave?
Any final words? Any final words? Oh my god.
Keep doing what you're doing, my brother. Much love.
Back at you, man.
All right,
London man.
All
Have a
right,
good
peace
night,
out.
dude. I know it's late.
Peace. Easy P now, chat room. Much love.
Easy, bro.
It's London man, everybody. Easy as it comes. I mean, Sean, look at him what he's doing. He doesn't know he's on right now. Don't say anything. Where is he? Like, is that a basement? Don't talk too loud because he'll hear us. He has no clue he's on right now. He's so dumb he left his camera on. Is he in his basement?
Interesting creature.
Is he in his basement? What is he? Yeah, he's in his basement, I think.
Dude,
He has no clue we're watching him. Is this even legal? He has a butcher shop in his basement, dude.
You didn't have to click the link.
Oh, you fuckers, you have me on.
Oh my god. All right, Peniel, get out of here. I don't want you. Bye. Just get yourself together, Sean. Get yourself together, Sean. You're a good young man. You're a good guy. Ugh.
Hey guys, how you doing, Z?
How's it going, Morgan? How's your whole thing
Rocking out,
going,
you know?
Morgan?
Good. I went to court the other day again. It was great. You know, I was in the big room. You know what I mean, like the big one where you got all the stuff and everything. Sitting with the other counsel and everything because there wasn't anybody in there, and I was a lawyer, so we're sitting there with them all talking. And then we're like, okay, and your case is this, and your case is this, and your first case is, oh, I've got the client that's doing the pleading. Okay, excellent. And they're like, oh, it's you. And I'm like, yes, excellent. So anyway, it was great. It went really good. So May, we go back in May, because in Canada you rotate the judges. They want to make sure that I get the first guy that I got because he knew what was going on. Anyway,
because he's right. Because he's aware of you. He knows your little idiosyncrasies, and he knows that, like, you know, you're a big like teddy bear with a heart of gold, and like, don't be scared of Morgan. I get it.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I'm from Wallace.
Morgan, hold on. So left turn here. Left turn.
Okay, yeah.
I got to get on to I got to get onto the news. So I want you to within a few seconds, 15 to 30 seconds, hit us with like something that's going to leave the audience with like something valuable. Like what's in your consciousness that's like new that you've been like discovering, that you've been ruminating on, something enlightening that you can bring to people, because I know you're full of that stuff, and that's why I like you, because I know you're overflowing. Your cup overfloweth. So go ahead, flow's yours.
Okay. Well, every time that I start feeling like, you know, it's between my legs and I get angry, and I start thinking that somehow I can force other people to see things the way that I see them, or that I can logic them into seeing the forest for the trees, and seeing that I am right in what I say about Christ, or because I presented them with the facts indisputable. The thing is though, you can do that, and it has no effect, because the Lord says I don't believe in the Bible. I believe in the Word of God. The Bible just means a collection of stories, collection of books. The Bible about anything. The Word of God is the truth. So the Word of God being presented. So the Word of God, it's going to have. It doesn't mean anything if I know all the secrets about heaven, about God, about the initiation. Can tell you about, okay, this spiritual thing attaches to this physical thing, all the way until I can tell you the words to whistle, to like go into spirit and then come back to be able to walk around like invisible. Okay, all the information of a shaman. When people think of shaman, some people would like to say, oh, he communes with spirits all day, so he must be an evil demonic force. It's like, no, he's doing that for the sake of the people in the village, so that when they get sick and whatnot, he's familiar with the spirits that are.
You're going over the 30-second mark. You're creeping.
Thank you.
Over
Okay,
the 30
so that he can inhabit it. So here's the thing: how is it that the shaman gets to speak to other spirit, or going in and out without being taken over by the evil spirits? You have to be doing what you're doing for love. You have to care about people first, and it would be better for you as a person.
I like that. I like that.
To come at it, but to care and love for other people, rather than having a Bible like causing all the argument and the division and everything. Like the book does say, there are people that do not have this book, and they have the fact that they exist. Babies, the new day, each day, a miracle so grand that they can't explain, that it shows the natural wonder. The order of it shows the presence of God. So with that, the Lord says, love and salvation. So you can know all the things, you can present it. You can be right and not saved, or you can be right.
All right. I love it. See, I love what he's saying, but he went over the 30 seconds. Morgan, we're going to work on the 30-second thing for you, because that's the thing with Morgan, is that like I said, his cup overfloweth, but he has difficulty like with his thoughts, you know, summing it up. Look, the Sean is still restreaming me. That's fine. You're still restreaming me because I left you in the back. You're slick little son of a bitch. Who's watching us right now, Sean? Give me a rundown of who's in your chat. I want to know. Look, he's not even here. I bring him up to talk to him. He's not even here. It's unreal. Unreal. Oh, there he is.
It looks like
So,
Morgan
Sean,
found his way over, so shout out to Morgan.
So I see your little game. So you're like, okay, if I just sit in the back, I could still restream Z. Who's in your chat right now?
I mean, I'm really only promoting you, right, at this point. So,
No, who's in your chat? I don't care if you. Who's in your chat? Is it that Patrick?
No, Morgan, Big Stank, Don McCron, and again, this is the backup to the backup. So that's where I'm at right now because I'm locked out. They locked me out of Shadowband
Well,
Syndicate.
I should bang Big Stink and Don McRon for leaving my show to go to your show to watch my show. I should ban them outright, so then they'll have a place to go when you restream me. I might let them slide.
You know what I realized? I'm like one of the ultimate promoters, though, of this so-called non-munity or whatever, community, non-community.
All right, well, if you're such a good promoter, tell people to get their heads out of their ass and stop being so self-limiting.
All right, let's stop drinking.
Let me ask you something about this community. Hold on. See, when you're live, you got to focus, Sean. I run a tight ship around here,
right,
dude.
Go ahead. As the goblin guy would say.
Oh, look, Big Stank said I already blocked him. That's why. It's funny, dude. Your chatters show up in my chat. Did you know that?
Yeah, probably because on the StreamYard side, you mean?
Apparently on the StreamYard side, yeah.
Of course.
Well, I didn't know, dude. This is the first time I didn't. No one's ever restreamed like this. I mean, people have just like restreamed me, but not through my StreamYard.
Well, let me ask you. You didn't get premium until recently, right? You never had premium, did you? I don't remember ever having.
I don't have premium. It's basic. I have basic.
Or whatever. Oh, is there a premium too?
Yeah, there's a premium.
What's the difference? 35 versus 50?
You get a bunch more people in. You get more recording time. Different background options. You know, I just have the basic plan, dude.
Because if you don't,
well,
like $30 for.
I have the most basic one they have. I have whatever the basic one that's not the free, because the free one you could only stream 20 hours a month, dude. That's not going to cut it.
Right. The free, yeah. So what people are usually do, such as myself, for the most part, is just have multiple emails. But I'm ready to get premium, man. I'm way overdue for that. So if I did have it once, I don't remember. There's a chance I did have it once in the last year.
Why do you need the premium? What does it have that you need?
No. I don't mean premium. My bad. I mean whatever. Just to step it up from the free version. I'm pretty much
so you use the free one. All right.
Yeah,
so you can't stream. How do you stream more than 20 hours a month? Do you have multiple accounts?
Multiple emails. Yeah, multiple emails.
All right. So use multiple emails.
Am I indicting myself here? I don't know. I don't think there's a rule.
Kinda. We'll pretend you didn't say that. Yeah, like you said, like I can see your listeners in my StreamYard, but they don't show up in my YouTube comments.
Right.
All right, so I want to talk to you about something.
Go ahead.
What do you think about Illuma Tommy, who looks at this so-called community and he thinks he's better than everybody and he minimizes everybody? He says everybody's stupid, uneducated. Do you think he's just arrogant? Do you think he's trying to overcome for some insufficiency that he has? Some kind of like, I don't know, like lack of confidence? What do you think?
I think you may be over the mark in some ways. Yeah. Arrogant is a decent descriptor there. I don't want to be mean to Tommy, but then again, I mean, look how he is.
It's not mean. We're just talking about him, dude. Because here's the thing, man.
I'm joking about being mean.
Like the things that like you hold dear to, or the things that you accept about this world. Like I know you're into the numerology. I know you're big into like the NWO, fucking, tyrannical, like enslavement of humanity, and I think it means something to you. I don't know. I hope it means something to you. Sean.
Yeah,
Tommy,
I mean, go ahead.
No,
I was just gonna say I realize how it can be very incapacitating or disempowering. All that conspiratard stuff, and that's why I have, in many ways, leaned into, for instance, the legal, lawful, spiritual side of seeking truth, so to speak, and embodying it and trying to live it. So, yeah, I give certain people.
So you hold dear to that, and you think, and you are passionate about that topic, right?
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it ties into the spiritual side. I think so.
Right. But Tommy just wants to shit all over it and basically say everybody here is just idiots. It's too much.
It's how to learn to be in the world but not of it. Whereas, you could say numerology and gematria is studying the details of, whether it's the light side or the dark side, depending on the organic side of the code or the inorganic side of the code that's being manifested through news and media and whatnot, and politics, et cetera, et cetera. So you could say flat Earth is kind of the similar in that it is an analytical kind of study, right?
Look, you're making it too hard, dude. Look, it's about truth versus deception. Look, you do this with everything. I'm going to tell you in a simple way.
I do have that problem.
There's true things in this world and there's untrue things. So if there are organizations or people that are presenting lies, there's value in presenting truth in whatever that is. It's plain and simple. All right, get out of here. I got to do the news and I got to deal with this fucking Guido.
Fucking blue, dude.
Hey, listen, I just want to tell you that I relate to you. I'm not fucking with you. I'm dead serious. I relate to you very strongly when you talk about the flat Earth stuff.
Oh,
but
God.
I don't mean,
Go ahead.
I'm not fucking with you, bro. Give me a second.
All right. Can you fix your mic first? I'll listen to you better if your mic wasn't crackling.
Hold on. Sorry.
Lou, you're like every family member I ever had.
Better?
You're like, yeah, it's better. You're like every family member I ever had. You're right in my face, but you still fucking scream. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll keep it down.
How come Italians just don't know how to speak normally? Why is
I'm
everything
deaf.
screaming and yelling?
My ears, I was shooting too much as a kid without earplugs. I fucked my ears up. But listen.
All right, go ahead, because I got to move on.
I
Go ahead. Floor is yours.
I don't understand everything about flat Earth. I have my questions about it, but I don't find, I don't have enough of the information to really make a determination, but I do understand where you're coming from. And what I relate to is the understanding that you have done the deep dive in understanding this idea of the Earth not being a sphere. And I would tell you that I've done the same deep dive, but for something that I believe is enslaving humanity much worse than flat Earth.
I know what it is.
Yes, it is, brother. We are not plant eaters, but we've been trained to believe we are because
keeps us sick. Hold on. Oh my God, you're gonna railroad me. I thought you were gonna say pussy. I thought the answer of enslavement of man was going to be women and vagina and basically this gynocracy that we're in. But now you're going down the meat. Okay.
Nothing more fundamental than what your body is designed to consume. Nothing can enslave you more than that and that alone. And I believe that the majority of people are so lost in their confusion and brainwashing about this subject that they're unable to even look at it. Just like the idea of flat Earth. People like Tommy are not willing to look at what you're saying about flat Earth because their mind is controlled by the fucking 30 years of indoctrination, 40 years, I don't know how old he is. And that indoctrination is so deep, they don't even allow themselves to look into the reality or whatever you believe is the reality and your proof, if you want to call it that. I have proof that we are enslaved by how we're told we are supposed to eat. And we're kept sick and dependent on that alone. Forget about everything else.
You're very passionate about the subject. And I like what you did,
because
Lucy.
I know the truth.
What you did is you found common ground with me. You said, okay, I see your passion on the subject, and I have a similar passion. And then you presented your information. That was skillfully done on your part, sir. You
I wasn't trying to be skillful.
No, but it was skillful.
Skillful.
And I agree with you in a lot of ways when in this subject. In a lot of ways, man. I agree with you. It's not, look, it's like I said, we didn't make these rules, Lou. We didn't build this. We didn't create this world. We didn't create this world where we need to consume calories and certain types of calories and certain types of nutrients. Okay. The lion pride that hunts the zebra pride, they didn't make that fucking rule up. Okay. It just is. Dude, I don't like seeing a hyena eating the ass out of a gazelle either. It's horrible to watch.
Alive. while it's
that's
alive.
while it's alive. It eats the ass out while it's
Humans
alive.
are much kinder.
Right. So
to
listen,
animals.
Lou, we didn't make this creation. We are in this creation. So you and I
Right.
could agree on that. And I want to say something to Chris because he comes in
Okay.
here and says the same thing every time. He keeps saying, nobody knows what the shape of the world is. Okay. So I'm going to read what he said. Hold on, Lou. He said, the truth is, none of us really know what the shape of the earth is. You do not have first experience. Okay, Chris. If that's true, then why are they telling everybody what the shape of the earth is? Dumb fuck. So if you're right, let's just say you're right. Nobody knows what the shape. Then why are they telling us that they know? Why are they teaching it to children? Why are they teaching in academia? Why are they presenting us with fucking moon landings? So if we don't know what the shape of the earth is, Chris, why are they showing us pictures of the fucking globe earth from space? You are illogical consistently. Lou, people have a problem with logic. I think that's the number one problem with the way people think. Your thoughts?
Well, I believe it's about the indoctrination. The indoctrination runs so deep on all levels that if they do any sort of searching outside that box that their brain has been put into, they feel like they're being I don't know, like they're a traitor to the truth. They feel like they're being traitorous in some way because they're searching outside the box that their mind has been placed in, right? So they never step out of it. They stay in that box till they're dead. Most people, in my view.
Yeah, it's cowardice. All right, Lou. You actually had a good
See you later.
appearance.
See you
Yeah.
later, bro.
Peace out. Hey, Lou, even a broken clock's right twice a day. That was a good appearance. Fucking Sean still restreaming me. So now Sean restreams. So all the people I banned from Z Show get to participate on Sean's side. I kind of do like that. I could see these banned people in my chat now, Sean. Like Big Stank. I don't even remember what I banned you for, Big Stank, but it had to be a good reason. Right? See, I want to get to the news and I have to get Chris. He says it's brainwashing, Z. You have never seen an actual photo of Earth. It's some Photoshop mock-up. Right, Chris? So why are they telling everybody what Earth is? You basically argue against yourself when you try to come at me with my flat earthy stuff by saying nobody knows what the Earth is. Okay. I'll, for the sake of argument, give you that for the sake of argument. Let's just say nobody knows what the shape of Earth is. Let's just pretend that you're right about that. Even though me and others like me can prove that water lies level and horizontal always. Let's just, for a thought experiment, say that you're right, that nobody knows what the shape is. Why are they teaching it as fact to children? You can't answer it. Because I'm using logic on you, Chris, and you obviously lack it. And I don't know why you're not fucking banned already. Oh, yeah, another one, Mateo. Talk a bit illogical. Should ban your stupid ass. But that's the thing. It's logic. Logic is the key. The tenets of logic were discovered over time and elucidated by men because mankind is inherently subjective and biased based on our emotion and our experience. Logic exists for a reason. Logic exists so we can rise above our own solipsistic worldview. Learn logic, everybody. Learn what logical fallacies are. If you're going to do anything with your time, make that be the next thing that you do. Because that'll basically help you learn how to think. And that's the last thing that this society wants, is for people who know how to think. They want to continuously tell you what to think, not how to think. It's a doggone shame. All right, let's move on. Let's get to the news, everybody. Get through my playlist here. And I know I keep saying it, but I'm probably going to break down and pay YouTube for their premium. Because when I first started streaming like a year ago, YouTube wasn't nearly as bad with the commercials. And now they're just off the hook with the damn commercials. And it's kind of like messing up my timing too bad. It's like becoming an issue for me. Because by the time I get to my playlist and get to the thing, then it's giving me like 14 seconds of commercials to contend with consistently. So, all right, everybody, it's time for news. In tonight's top story, Supreme Court to hear expedited review of Trump's presidential immunity appeal. The U.S. Supreme Court says it will take up an appeal by former President Donald Trump on the question of whether presidential immunity protects former presidents from being prosecuted for criminal prosecution for conduct alleged to involve official acts during his tenure in office. An appellate court judge denies Trump's request to stay a ruling obliging him to pay a bond of $454 million while he appeals the decision, but the judge does grant him the right to seek loans from New York banks to raise that sum. Earlier in the day, lawyers for Trump said it was impossible for their client to raise the full bond amount set by the judge, Arthur Aragon, and proposed paying just $100 million instead. In response, New York Attorney General Lolita James argued that there was no merit to that request and that Trump should be forced to pay the full amount. Here are the latest legal developments involving the billionaire hoping to be reelected to the White House. Well, they actually said two things there. All right, they went into the thing about his potential immunity from prosecution, as they put, from criminal prosecution for conduct alleged to involve official acts during his tenure, which was the January 6th thing. All right, they're trying to hit him with that thing. So let's see what it says here. The Supreme Court announced Wednesday that it would hear Trump's appeal to a lower court's ruling that presidential immunity does not protect him from prosecution for his efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. All right, so here's the thing, and you know I'm not into their politics, but here's the WWF story that they're going to present everybody. Is first of all, we obviously know what happened and the story of the 2020 election, the mail-in ballots, the COVID's debacle, et cetera, et cetera. Now it seems like they're trying to throw a bunch of basically legal hurdles in front of Trump as he basically tries to get reelected for a second term as president. So to me, this is kooky. This is nuts. Because let's talk real. Let's talk real. When you are president of the United States, you are the commander-in-chief of the U.S. military. You are the head of the executive branch, which is one of the three branches of government. All right. The decisions you have to make and the things you're forced to do as president puts you in a different category. If you are now saying that former presidents can now be held to legal standards of conduct and criminal standards of conduct for things they did in office, Just imagine the slippery slope that we're opening. Imagine if we went through history and picked apart the actions of the different presidents and tried to hold them accountable in courts of law. What do you think would have happened to Kennedy, to Nixon, to all these people? This is stupid. It's a smokescreen. It's a show. It's a charade. Even if you are the most ardent, progressive, liberal Democrat, and you believe in the political system and the American justice system, how can you stand for such bias action towards a former president, even one of the other party, the opposite party, the Republican Party? Anybody with a mind towards justice can see that this is a complete witch hunt and it's crazy. And that's the problem now with people. It's no longer about right or wrong or truth versus lies or justice versus injustice. It's a blood sport for people. It's because, as I say, they've turned a culture from a God-fearing civilization of people who believed in some creator being, some source creator. They've destroyed it. They've replaced it with the religion of scientism. They've convinced everyone that there's no God really. And in the process, they've destroyed any conception of morals. And this is what you get. It's an unjust society. And as I read the other day, that quote, justice without mercy is godless. And if you're godless, you will try to enact justice without mercy. This is the situation we're in today. And everybody just goes along with it. All right, let's move on. In celebrity news, Richard Lewis, comedian and Curb Your Enthusiasm star, dies at 76. Richard Lewis, the stand-up comedian who also starred alongside Larry David in Curb Your Enthusiasm, died Tuesday night at his Los Angeles home due to a heart attack. Variety has confirmed he was 76. Lewis announced last April he had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease and was retiring from stand-up comedy. He most recently appeared in season 12 of Curb Your Enthusiasm, currently airing on HBO. All right, so this is actually a little sad for me because, as a lot of my listeners know, I have a soft spot for comedians, and I have especially soft spot for Jewish comedians. And Richard Lewis was one of my favorites. When I was young, I remember his hunched over Jewy ass sitting on stage, cracking me up. I was one of those kids when I was like 9 years old that I was watching like adult comedy. I remember I watched Eddie Murphy's Raw and Extreme when I was like 10. And it was hardcore. That's when comedy was vicious, not this PC bullshit cancel culture we have today. And Richard Lewis was part of that generations of comedians. Funny Jewish comedians, talented. I'm sad to see this. Back in the day, I used to be a Seinfeld fan, and then I was a Curb Your Enthusiasm fan. It's hard for me to watch that stuff now because it's just too normie, it's too mindfuck programming, and I can't get by that now. But there was a time where I enjoyed that content. And I enjoyed you, Richard Lewis. May the fates carry you upon the wings of destiny. And may you I don't know. May you be remembered fondly, good sir. Richard Lewis. We hardly knew ye. In other news, a simple way to get microplastics out of your water. Wow. Isn't it weird? Like, before I read this article, the weird thing is like that we need a way to get microplastics out of the water. Yeah, Rose, I have a mole. Nice Richard Lewis reference. Basically, like, Rose, like, neurotic Jewism is my favorite comedy. It's probably the best comedy, is neurotic Jewy stuff. Yeah. But anyway, Rose, you'll like this one. A simple way to get microplastics out of your water. Again, why do we need a way to get microplastics? Why are microplastics in the water? And why do you need to give me away now, mainstream news? Let me read it. Tiny plastic particles can seem alarmingly ubiquitous and nearly impossible to get rid of. They've been found in food, breast milk, and even clouds. Clouds? Well, maybe if you weren't spraying the clouds would have... All right, I'll continue. The new research suggests that a simple solution could reduce microplastics in drinking water. Boil it. Well, isn't it interesting? They say new research suggests that boiling water helps remove impurities. Who would have thought about it? I don't know. Like, I don't know, mankind, like, forever was like boiling water to remove things. Genius. Let's read on. In a new paper published Wednesday in the journal Environmental Science and Technology Letters, two scientists whose names I don't care to read report that boiling and filtering water helped remove up to nearly 90% of the tiny plastic particles, which they write can be found in 129 of 159 tap water samples in 14 countries worldwide. The impact of consuming these tiny particles still is not well understood. A recent report from the World Health Organization noted a number of possible health risks posed by exposure to microplastics, but also said that more research needs to be done. It always needs more research. Hey, do I need more research to tell me not to drink plastic? I need more research for that? They always have to put that in there. Well, Z knows what it does. First thing it does, it basically makes you estrogenic. And that's not good for girls or guys. Just saying. It's bad. Hey, guys, here's a little hint from Z. It's not good to mess with your hormones. It's bad. It's all bad. How you're all putting all these little girls on birth control when they're like 13. No, it helps control, severe period. No, it's bad. All you guys that want to be buff, you start shooting up, a little bit of gear, a little bit of human growth hormone, maybe a little bit of insulin to help the effects. Yeah, it's not good. It's got problems. You don't want to fuck with your hormones, everybody. So, boil your water, guys. Now I got to do that. I haven't been drinking tap water lately anyway. But again, we live in a world of water. But we have to buy water now. Go figure. It's the most abundant thing that there is. They say 71% of Earth is ocean. That's not even counting like the streams and the lakes and the underground aquifers that are apparently everywhere. Yeah, did you guys know there's primal water like under everything? And people know about it and they're keeping it from you? You just got to drill a little bit deeper. It's not hard. There's water everywhere. But we have to buy water now. We have to buy water. This is unbelievable. Like I said, reality, you've jumped the shark. You've derailed. All right, y'all. There's a lot of news, but I'm going to wrap it. We've been going long with the shows. We're already at 3:20 now. Yeah, Emmanuel. Distilled water. Distilled water. How was the show today, Mateo? You want to come in and critique my show every day? Hey, Mateo, how's the view from the cheap seats? Mateo's a Philly guy. Mateo, it's easy. It's easy when you're up in those nosebleed sections like they used to have at the vet. Remember the vet, Mateo? How's the view from the cheap seats? You Philly fuck. No balls. Rose said distilled with a piece of shungite / silver. Water beads for extra something. Pineal Power says distill, then remineralize. Yeah. Look, a lot of water you can buy at the, like, say, the grocery store, it's distilled and reverse osmosis, which I bet that's what they do, because a good reverse osmosis system, the last like stage remineralizes the water. So, just saying. Mateo says I was at the last Eagles game in 2003 at the vet. Yeah. Were you up in the nosebleeds? Like you're like the nosebleed section of my show? Goofy. Yeah, man, Mac says we should just drink our urine like the astronauts. All right, guys and dolls. Where's my camera? There it is. Froze a little bit. All right, everybody. That'll do it for another Z show. Each show is unique and exciting. You know, and like I keep saying, we're building something here. This is a long game. In the end, it's about the love of the game. And we put game in quotes. And I don't like doing things with my fingers, because then people they'll make like Pineal Power. I'm still streaming his channel. So I went like this in quotes, and this is going to be something. VV. He's going to say that's like va, like the Jewish Paleo-Hebraic va sign, right? Pineal. So if I put up a va, you're going to say that's 666. I know, Pineal. I'm schooled on your weirdo gematria, probably just as much as you, and maybe even more, young man. Maybe even more. All right, everybody. Good stuff. I send you my positive regards and loving intention. And you, if you hear my voice, even you, Lindsay, who's trying to play this weird little cat and mouse game with me. Who knows? All right, everybody. Parting is such sweet sorrow. So let's not say goodbye. Just farewell for now. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same Z time, same Z channel. Much love, everybody. Peace.